we're rolling up Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body.
And literally just make a little slot for it to sit in.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. Random shit as it goes.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, that's been my last day or so. But guys, anyways, welcome back to Now You Made It Awkward podcast, episode 52. Technically, this would be our anniversary episode, but we're months.
That's 52 weeks.
Yeah, so we're actually months past our anniversary, which was actually Valentine's Day. So apparently, we need to remember that this show's actual anniversary is Valentine's Day. It's easy to remember.
Oh, that's nice.
So episode 0 was posted on Valentine's Day.
So I will never be able to be part of a Valentine's Day episode because Busty will not be happy about that.
It only has to be released on Valentine's Day. It doesn't have to be recorded on Valentine's Day. Before. That's how we do these things, Rusty. So for those who recognize that voice, Rusty has come back this week.
Hey everybody, I'm the Rusty Mechanic.
He's over there. I gotta remember backwards.
He's up
I forget. Normally I have it flipped. But it's actually mirrored. Right. That's the confusing part.
I can actually play with your microphone.
Please don't. Wait, why am I above you?
I don't know. It's the way I have it oriented on my.
Okay, that's weird.
On my screen.
Oh, the wifey's calling me right now.
What?
Why is the wifey calling me right now? Probably because she's on her break. Hold on, I will hang up. And I will text her back. It should not be an emergency, but either way. So also, guys, Rusty Mechanic links in the description down below, along with the SHOKY links as well. And of course, Rikki's not here at the moment. He might be popping in later. He got a really crappy work schedule today.
Rikki's not here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. He's pissed. He's really pissed because
Is he really? Oh, because he's stuck at work.
Because he's stuck at work. Yeah, not because he's missing the show necessarily. Yeah. Mostly because he got screwed and had to deal with that today.
Well, and we had the same thing with Dormammu. I think Dormammu was planning on joining us today too, and then he messaged us this morning. He's like, "No, I have meetings all afternoon." And so yeah.
Well, that usually happens with his job. He's got to end up on stupid calls. It's kind of the problem with having a desk job is sometimes that happens. I don't work.
To be fair,
no, we're not saying to be fair.
Well, I was going to say to be because I'm in the same boat, and I was actually afraid. It was funny that he mentioned that because my morning was turning into, oh my God, this could escalate into garbage. Anyway, I managed to deflect for 24 hours, so that's why I'm here.
Yeah, you did mention that yesterday, but I was scared when you said that this morning like a jerk.
I did it.
I know
on purpose.
Yeah. So yeah, Rikki might join in and he'll probably be really pissed off and probably be like just huffing down cigarettes. But that's okay. It is what it is. We're just gonna chit chat and stuff like that. Last week we did a whole bunch of heavier topics, so I think we'll just talk weeks this week. And there's some news out there, which is crazy. But also, what?
Certainly have to talk about the Transformers trailer at some point. But
we can definitely talk about that because we technically never have really talked. We talked about it with the first teaser trailer, but we'll talk about it a little bit more. Yeah. So, yeah, since my Transformers guy is here. So, by the way, guys, I do want to make sure I do a shout out to the patrons who help support this and all my other channels. Of course, it's not Lori. I'm combining their names. Laura and Mary do support this channel, technically speaking, because they are my totally awesome subscriber levels. So, yay. Hi, guys. And they get to actually watch the video version of this where they can see us waving at them right now. Yeah. And actually, what was the last time you were on when Alan was here for the 50th? Yeah, because you didn't come. You weren't here last time for 51. So yeah, 50th.
No, I wasn't. Was I on? Oh yes, yeah. Right, and Alan. Yes, because my reaction said it all.
What reaction? You were staring.
That's because I was going. Really?
It mostly because I had to watch that to edit it, and I'm like, in the moment, I was like, no. You were like,
I was like.
You were just staring blankly.
Anyway.
Yeah, I still need to screen cap that to send it to everybody who has not or was not here that day.
Yeah. So I was here for the 50th, and then I missed the.
You missed
51. It was just you and Rikki last time, right?
No, last week Dormammu was here.
Oh, did he jump in? Okay, nice.
Yeah. Because we needed. It was good to have a differing opinion, considering we talked about guns and a lot of other stuff.
You did not.
We did, and we talked about you. We mentioned you.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, we did. We did mention you in our conversation about guns and gun rights.
I feel appreciated.
Yes, of course. Well, you and your communist state up there, we know how you like guns.
Yes, we love. Yeah. We know.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, we talked about the tragedy. Oh, okay. So, update from last week: the guy who shot up his neighbors and then went on the run. He was caught just a few days later.
Yeah.
Not very far away. Got him and his wife. I think technically his wife gave him away by accident. I think they interviewed her, and then that's kind of how they got there. But of course, the situation being that if he's not a U.S. citizen or legal immigrant, they can only just basically deport him again, causing, well, really nothing to happen on the fact that he murdered 5 people. Yeah. And he'll just be back. Whatever.
Where was he actually from again?
He was from Mexico. The family was from Honduras.
Okay.
Yeah. I looked into that. So, and apparently I was actually correct the first time I said it. There were 9 people in the house, 9 or 10 people, but not necessarily all the same family. It seemed like it was maybe a get together. But either way, so that did. Well, I guess I don't want to say come to an end, but at least the manhunt came to an end. Apparently, Dog the Bounty Hunter got involved as well. Like anytime there's a major nationwide story like that, he'll jump in with his 2 cents, and apparently he was kind of right. So he's actually, as comical as he looks, he's actually pretty damn good at his job. Because it was thanks to him they found that dude who murdered his girlfriend and then disappeared into the Everglades. The van life YouTuber girl.
Oh, yeah.
He was pretty instrumental in actually finding, well, technically his remains.
I mean, I'm not surprised that people would say as good as his job. I mean, he's from the reality show. I mean, he got a lot of funding to generate his own set of resources. Plus, he's not hindered like the police are when it comes to
police can only be hindered by so much. Right? Yeah.
So sure, I mean, good for him.
It is funny that a job like that still exists in today's age. It seems like it's something from the movies. You never think about it. I mean,
yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those leftover things. But I mean,
but you have to have you gotta have exactly, bail jumpers and stuff like that, and but then you get to the point where it's realistically, he has to be as good, if not better, of an investigator than the police themselves.
Yeah,
and because he has connections within, he can, get information that most people wouldn't have, or he's got enough money to buy his own resources. It's kind of funny.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that came to the thing. However, because of the world we live in, there were 2 more tragedies this weekend. Another mass shooting and then a mass running over of people. So both here in Texas, fun times. Both also seem to be, without wanting to be too incorrect, illegal immigrants as well. And one of them was shot up. One happened in a mall, and one happened somewhere else. I think it was just down a busy street. But both were definitely on purpose. And then to make things even better, what is it? On Thursday, we have just a few people coming to visit the U.S. Just a few, 100,000 people trying to cross the border all at once. So that's not going to be messy at all.
Well, that what do you call it? Your Title
42
law is expiring, is it not? Or they're modifying it?
Nope, it was modified. Now it's going to be expiring, and instead of, I don't know, either extending it or changing it again to keep it in place, they're just we'll just send 1,500 National Guard down there for helping ease of whatever. But the funny part is, and it's the not funny in the haha, but funny in the oh god, we're all doomed. They actually are emptying out the current retention places. They're just letting
on the other side of the border, right? Like the camps or whatever they've set up that people are kind of stuck in while they're waiting for.
Not those. The ones here.
Oh, okay. The ones on the U.S. side.
The detention camps. The detention camps on our side where they have taken people in. They're just going to empty them out.
Yeah.
And let people go. So fun times. Oh, and then right before I was watching news right before this, within 72 hours they had 26,000 encounters where most of those people were not detained and they were just let out to go do whatever. And that was in 72 hours. 26,000 people were encountered by Border Patrol who were illegally entering the country. I'm not talking about people like at the border thing trying to do their thing. Literally, they had come into our country either across the river or whatever in just 3 days' time. So it's fucked up. And as a Texan, I do have a right to bitch because it does put an enormous it puts an enormous strain on our resources that we already are short on. And my buddy, my best friend that I still talk to, on the regular, he lives way down there. He lives there in the valley, right the border. Like basically he can see Mexico from his house. And he said it has been a major problem in their small town. Because they have nowhere to go. You know, they just roll into town. Most of the time, they'll like restaurants will fill up, and then there'll be no food for normal people after they get through. And like, and not to be crude about it, in a way, when it's a rush like that, it's like locusts coming through and wiping out everything. And then there's the infrastructure is not ready to, fill back up. And unless you're really on top of it, you can't like get ahead of that. And restaurants can only store so much. Literally, like Walmarts and stuff like that can only have so much stuff on the shelves. But I mean, realistically, it's a humanitarian crisis. Like it's kind of ridiculous, like to just go, yeah, come on, it's fine. It's a little fucked up, especially if it's. I've heard from 100,000 to 700,000 people. Like depending on how long this new caravan is. And like 100,000 people basically waiting in Mexico just to come in because, well, it's down, let's go, And our economy is already fucked here. How the hell we're going to support people who don't have jobs, don't have anywhere to live, don't have any supplies?
And this is the problem, right? I mean, it's fine to say and probably right. I mean, given the power that the United States has, right, or the resources, right, that the United States has had.
I'm going with had.
The resources of the United States has.
Should have.
It certainly makes sense for your government to say yes. If you are in crisis, please come across the border, humanitarian. We will help you. Except, to your point, that the resources have to be there. The infrastructure has to be there to support these people coming over. And the smallest, simplest example is that the U.S. government set up an app, right? That you can log into and you can request, I want to meet with, Homeland Security, whoever, right? Immigration, to plead my case. Right. But
the immigration department in general.
Right. So first off, the app's infrastructure cannot handle the number of requests that are coming in a day. So it constantly crashes. The number of immigration officers available to review these cases is inconsequential to the number of people coming in. So
and they were depleted during COVID, just like everyone else.
Right. And people are logging into the app at 8:00 in the morning, and it's like Ticketmaster. Right. Like within 15 minutes, it's sold out. Right. Like there's no more spaces left to right. And worse than that is it's great to have this app, except that most of the people coming across the border, either they don't have a phone or they don't have a data plan. Or if they do happen to have a phone, it's probably ancient and the app doesn't support it. So they can't even use the app, right? So they're stuck. Right. And that's just one aspect.
That's one small aspect to it.
Exactly. Right.
But like the fact that there's not enough people is like one, they're just processing people and bringing them in for the most part. The other thing is that they're just basically busing them or flying them wherever just to clear them out. And like that's wrong in my opinion because because they haven't made it to the point of approval for citizenship or anything. It's just we're gonna go fly you out into the country somewhere. We're gonna go find some major metropolis that's probably a little too red, and we're gonna fly you there. But then also the fact that they give them their paperwork and say, hey, check back with us in 6 months for your appointment, or up to 7 years for some people to get their citizenship stuff. And prior to that, we had what was fairly effective was the stay in Mexico policy, which was basically like, look, while we're working on your case, just you can live right there. And like, and maybe it's a silly idea, but for me, I would have thought like Mexico and the U.S. could have come, if they didn't do this, and maybe I'm just talking to my ass, come to a thing where like, okay, look, say there's a neutral territory like right there that's however big. We have, basically build a city if there isn't one right there, and all the immigrants who are looking for asylum and all that kind of stuff, and they got to go through the process, they stay there.
But that's what they did.
But I'm saying Mexico and the U.S. pay to make sure they're not living in squalor.
But that's what they did.
Yeah,
right? That's what
to a degree, yeah.
Right. That's what the encampments are on the other side.
But I don't mean encampments. Yeah, exactly. But I don't mean encampments. I mean like a city that is just there.
No, right. Except who? Okay, so
but it would have to be funded by the both, and it would have to be neutral territory. But it would be for asylum seekers who want to come in through Mexico for that purpose.
Why would the Mexico government pay to have their citizens leave the country?
Because a lot of times it's not Mexicans. Because most of the people coming across are not coming from Mexico. So they're coming through. So
that's an even bigger problem then, right? Why would Mexico pay to have non-citizens
to keep them out of their
stay
country?
In their country, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It would have to be deemed neutral territory. Like it couldn't be ours, it couldn't be theirs. But we would both have to pay for it to exist so that it solves both of our issues. Like, look, Ben, you can put a wall on either side so that, look, you can't go south, you can't go north, just chill right here. Yeah. We're going to make sure you're taken care of, or you can build up a life, like earn a living, save money, so that when you do come across, you can go here. Or, hey, they come that far and maybe they want to be Mexican citizens instead, because a lot of people just built a whole life in Mexico. And that was cool because they're at least contributing and stuff like that. The problem is like when they come here, they don't, and they have all these issues along the way, and then they do cash only jobs. They don't pay into taxes. They don't pay into Social Security. They get free healthcare effectively because how do you build them? All these kind of stuff. And then then they can, well, they don't even have to vote, technically speaking, with the way our system works, but just build them up in a district that needs another rep. That's realistically what they're doing. They're sending them to cities that want more. They need to have one more seat when it comes to electrical college. I think. So the problem is like, okay, we got 100,000 people coming in. We'll send them straight to California. Give California some more power. That kind of shit. So they're just being used as political pawns, and that's fucked. It's one thing when it's like, hey, bring us your tired, worn, whatever masses, whatever it says on Ellis Island. And my mom was an immigrant. Like she came here from Ukraine as an infant, so they had to go through the whole system. And it took a really, really long time for at least the ones who were already born, plus my grandparents, to become U.S. citizens. And they had to learn English. They had to pass the test. They had to do all this stuff. And you're talking about back in the 50s, post World War I or World War II. I mean, technically not wrong. It is past World War I, but because they were basically refugees. So because the Ukraine that they came from was rocked by Germany and by the Nazis. So they came here because they needed somewhere better to live, and that's how they did their thing. But now it's like like we have all the people who are waiting for legitimate citizenship and going through all the work, and then you have however many people just wandering over infinitely, and it's also happening in Canada too, like because people are like basically bypassing the U.S. and just going up to Canada.
Going to Canada. I mean, most of our immigrants, I think, are coming from Europe anyway, right? Like they're getting
that
on
too
planes in Europe and coming over. And a lot of times the European flights will actually, potentially land in Toronto before they actually make it down to the U.S. and that, right? So they just jump off the first North American city that the plane lands in. They get off.
Right? So and then they'll come across from the northern side too.
But it's certainly, yes, that's true. Yeah, but it's certainly not. No, it's certainly not the crisis, right? As you said, or humanitarian crisis that's happening along the Texas border right now. Like it's just insanity.
And Texas, Arizona, New Mexico.
Yeah, but like you said, it's the numbers are crazy, and the resources available are not there to deal with the situation, right? So, and I would argue that if you talk to a lot of American people, they probably don't want a lot of resources put towards that problem, right? Because how is that our problem?
And no one's helping us with it. It's our problem, right? But then they're also sending $100 billion to Ukraine to go help with their humanitarian crisis. If we had $100 billion here to help deal with fixing our food infrastructure, which has been destroyed in the literal sense, it's like, how are you supposed to feed people when we've culled millions upon millions of chickens, slaughtered cows and left them to waste, didn't even eat them, just slaughtered them because we couldn't do anything with it, tossing out hundreds of thousands of gallons of milk, eggs just being destroyed. It's like most of our food is just not going anywhere. Crops being raised because the supply chain was so screwed from COVID. So we're like now a crop and a half behind, instead of being ahead. And it's insane. I mean, there's like you said, there's lots of problems. We're adding to our own socioeconomical problems. Because they won't just go, hey, we're just going to put a halt to it. Because it wouldn't even be the first time where we put a halt to immigration. Like we've done it before for the same reason. It's like literally we can only take in say we should only be taking in, throwing out a number, 25,000 people a year legally.
You got 100,000 people at the border. At least.
But since Sleepy Joe has jumped in the chair, I think something like 4.5 million have come across in 2.5 years, which is significantly higher than the previous 8 years.
It was part of his platform, right?
Let everybody in.
You should be able to come in, and you should be able to apply for citizenship status while you're in the country.
And that's and that plan only works when it's a limited number.
Or there's the resources and infrastructure available
which
to support the numbers that are
which is where the limit. But that's where that limit comes from.
Right.
You have to do your math.
You have to say this is how many we can bring in a year, right? And then but then what do you do, right? You say, well, no, sorry, like we've hit our 100,000. You all have to go away.
Just chill here,
right? And then
the
rest of the world. This is
why
you guys can go.
But this is why this is why I'm thinking like that kind of in between city would be a decent idea, because you could house a couple. If you say there whatever city's right there. Say it's, I don't even know how you would work out the logistics of it, but that's literally neutral ground. You're not in Mexico. You're not in America. You're in. But
problem.
But the thing is,
how many people can you support in the city?
But if you have two countries at least helping that happen,
so you don't think that the minute that gets built and you say we built a city in neutral territory in between Mexico and the U.S. that can hold 200,000 people,
but say
comfortably, 500,000 people will show up.
But that's also where you have. This is where you have to have a border on both sides that says, look, we're at our cap. This amount of people have applied for citizenship. This many, because you'd have to have different lines for asylum and citizenship, because those are different things.
So you're going to build a city outside the...
No, I'm saying like...
City.
But the difference is, when people know there's a completely wide open border, they're just going to come. If people know you can't do this and you can only... you're limited to this. We saw it happen, though. That's the thing. We know it works.
But what I'm saying is I don't think... So we're obviously not in that situation. What I'm telling you is that everybody...
No, I get what you're saying, though.
Middle of Mexico down to South America.
It's all the South Americans. Yeah,
the minute that they hear that there is a city that you can go to apply for immigration...
What if it's...
status in the U.S.? Hold on, right? In the U.S., that and we can hold up to 200,000 people. You don't think that everybody and their dog isn't packing their bags and going, there's a place that we can go live for free?
Well, free,
right? They don't care. They don't care that the number is 200,000. All they care is there's a place that we can go and we can
that's
live the American
free
dream
would be the problem.
Free, right?
Yeah, free.
But that's what you're saying, right?
Well, I'm not saying that they would have every creature comfort given to them.
No,
but what I'm saying
still,
is they would be given somewhere that isn't just a shitty camp under a bridge. But the thing is, it's like, you know, if we're going full on globalist, then the whole world should help pay for it. Realistically, if we're going full globalist agenda there,
then we're talking global reform in general, which is right. So
well,
there's lots of problems in the world.
Yeah, global reform would equal everyone gets to go to Europe and the U.S. and everywhere else doesn't have to do fuck all.
I'm good with that.
No, because that includes Canada.
Only because no, we're out. You didn't say we're out.
No. North America and Canada. North America and Canada. But look, you guys are just wasting like 80% of your land mass.
Oh yeah, because it's f***ing cold.
Hey, all these people are coming from tropical climates. They could probably like some cold.
You know why everybody is migrating north is because it's too goddamn hot.
Exactly. Canada is cold. Go to Canada.
We have built-in air conditioning.
Here's what we'll do. What we'll do is we will trade very specific states and cities to Canada to allow them to expand their borders, and all the you guys can come a little further south, but they would definitely be part of Canada.
What are you talking about? We're already as south as California right now anyway. How much further south do you want us to go? Let's see. We want nothing further south than...
Because you can have like a good chunk of New England. You can have a couple of things near the Great Lakes. That's not a problem. You guys can definitely have Oregon and Washington.
Oregon and Washington.
Because it's right there. Now, Alaska's ours.
I don't know.
No, because, I mean, basically, those people love communism. They'll be great. And they're already cold and wet. They're good.
You think we're a communist country? I don't understand what that statement is.
Communist and socialist, depending on where you're at. Except for Alberta.
Okay, we'll take everything from Montana. Nothing further south than Montana.
Nobody wants Montana.
South Dakota.
We don't even want Montana. I don't think you want Montana.
Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania.
Hold on, you can't have South Dakota. That's where, like... Wait, which Dakota has a monument in it?
Which monument?
Wait, isn't Mount Rushmore in, like, South Dakota?
Oh, I don't know.
I thought it was.
Canadian.
Either way, we're both sounding super ignorant.
Oh yes, we're totally sounding white middle class something.
Hey, I'm lower middle class, thank you, sir.
Are you lower?
Definitely.
And South Dakota.
I was right. Yeah, you can't have South Dakota. That's where our presidents live.
We'll just change the faces.
Hold on, can we just start a retirement home for all of our ex-presidents in South Dakota at the base of Mount Rushmore?
You guys are hauling down statues left and right anyway. You might as well just deface Mount Rushmore.
Honestly, I'm amazed they haven't bombed it yet. Because I don't even know who would be safe. Roosevelt, maybe.
Who knows? Anyway,
I don't know. I don't even know who would be safe on there. They're just. Yeah, don't get me started on the tearing down the monuments thing.
Is Lincoln on there?
Thought so. Wasn't it?
Right, Lincoln's on there. So I mean, he ended slavery. So I can't see how you could possibly.
Well, that's complicated. Ended slavery versus didn't want to end slavery. That was just part of the deal.
Yeah.
And it's not that he was pro-slavery. He was just not pro losing the states who didn't want to get rid of slavery. Right. So it was damned if you do, damned if you don't. But obviously, ending slavery is the better solution. Let's be honest. You know. Yeah. So the Civil War is so much more fucking complicated than anyone gives it credit for.
Roosevelt, Jefferson, Washington, Lincoln.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, Lincoln.
Yeah.
So Jefferson, no, can't have Jefferson. Nope, can't have George Washington.
Well, I'm saying just.
Well, I mean, who would you put up there? George Floyd?
Nobody. I've never understood this fucking this monument anyway. I feel like there were better ways to do this. But
hey, look, Rusty. I know you don't understand our monuments, but you got a new king to change to all your money to.
Yes, we do have a new king, and we don't care.
Speaking of new events in the world.
So I didn't even watch the coronation. To be honest.
Did? So,
like really honest. Anyway,
have you seen like that football stadium, like literally cheering Fuck your coronation. We don't give a shit. Basically,
Oh, the
shove it up your
protesters
arse.
in that?
Yeah,
I
shove it up
know,
your arse.
yeah.
I was like,
Too
wow.
because so it's interesting that Charles made the decision to shorten the coronation ceremony. It was like 3 hours for Queen Elizabeth. They shortened it to 2 hours for Charles. Again, because he's always had that vision of being like a modern monarchy. He understands that the general public doesn't really care, but he doesn't want to give up, his fancy house and
I
his
mean, it's
cars and everything
still
else.
royalty.
Yeah, that the British residents pay for, right? They pay billions of dollars in taxes every year to support the monarchy. And
I mean, we do the same. We just have a shittier monarchy.
Well, yeah. Well, we Canada actually apparently we spend $60 billion a year on the monarchy, and I don't even know.
That's
how the hell
impressive
we
because
do
you have
that.
like 30 million people.
Right? So
where's all that money? Where is that money coming from?
This is what, like, I saw the number and I was like, how's that even possible? I don't know how. Anyway, so 60 million, maybe it wasn't billion. I don't know. Anyway,
no, actually, it sounds about right if you consider most people's salaries.
Yeah, I guess. But anyway, it was an absurd amount, and yeah,
I'm glad we stopped doing that because we worked out so much better not being a colony.
I don't know. Anyway, I mean, it is what it is, and sure, there's a new king. Everybody, if you didn't know. The thing that gets me though, I can't believe that Camilla actually ended up with.
Yeah,
like I know she's queen consort, but I'm like, I'm like, really, everybody?
Yeah. Look, no, just no.
I'm pretty sure. Like Queen Elizabeth said, she's never going to get that title.
Don't put that cunt on it. Don't put that cunt on under a crown, is what she said.
Right?
Basically,
yeah. Like she was basically like, if you want to go marry her, then go ahead, right? Like our
because they're not. They never got. Did they get married? Oh,
I thought they got married. I thought
was that before? Was that before or after Diana was in the ground?
Oh, it was definitely after her death. Like way after her death.
I have to make that joke because.
Oh, in fact, no, she can't be queen consort unless they're married.
So because she couldn't have that title because yeah.
So anyway, I was pretty sure that Elizabeth said that she's never going to get that title regardless. You can go ahead and marry her, but she's never getting the title of queen. But mommy is dead, so you can do whatever the fuck you want now.
It's a brave new world, folks.
Anyway, April 9th, 2005, they got married. Look at that. Anyway,
yeah.
Don't care.
How much does Australia have to pay them?
I was going to say probably similar numbers to what we pay, but I don't think they have the population we do, right? So maybe not. I don't know. I mean, there's over 20 countries still in the Commonwealth: Canada, Australia.
Yeah, most of them don't
like
count.
A bunch of other in Africa.
That's a bunch of islands. Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right.
I mean, yeah. But yeah, either way, the world's a mess.
The world is a mess.
The world is a mess.
Yeah. So anyway.
So let's talk about our week real quick.
Sure.
Or several weeks. Well, let's
go first.
I'll go first because we didn't do weeks last week because we just talked politics and whatnot, just like we
guns apparently.
Yeah, we talked about the shooting and gun control and stuff like that.
Right.
And how Dormammu doesn't understand the wording of the Second Amendment, but that's okay. Most people don't.
Well, except you guys keep taking the Second Amendment out of context.
No, we're putting it back into context.
The last half of the Second Amendment and not, the militia part.
This is coming from a Canadian. How much First Amendment do you have?
Free speech?
You got plenty of that?
We want. We still have TikTok. I don't know about you guys.
We still have it. Unfortunately.
By the way, actually, before we jump ahead, now that reminds me, because I wanted to talk about this topic before you get into your week. So this kid in the Pentagon.
The Pentagon leaks.
Since we're using Discord to record this and everything else, so apparently the story goes that he leaked the Pentagon documents because he was on a gaming Discord server, where he admitted that he had high level military access clearance, and they all went, "Fuck off, you're whatever," and then he started posting documents
Yeah.
to prove. See,
Yeah. I heard about that too.
Locations of troops in the Ukraine, etc., etc., etc.
Which was
Names
a bad thing.
of spies throughout the country. Like,
Yeah.
what? This
I
is why
mean,
you don't allow access to Discord.
Well, this is why you don't allow dipshits anywhere near important stuff, and that includes even the older dipshits who have been there for a long time.
Well, yeah, and this was the thing too, is that I think most of the senior people, like the security analysts or whatever within from the administration perspective of the Pentagon, they didn't understand what a Discord server was.
Of course not. Of course not.
Right? They thought it was a game. They thought it was a Minecraft Discord server.
That's right. That's right.
So they didn't understand what a Discord server was. They thought it was part of Minecraft. They thought it was a game, and they were like, "How the hell did he leak documents onto a game?"
It's like a part of every game at this point,
right?
Because
like
everybody has Discord servers,
right? So yeah, you have these dinosaurs, right, that are in these positions of importance that don't understand how technology is going to destroy you if you don't understand it. So
exactly. But
whatever.
At least it would have been great if there were altruistic reasons, not just just
because I want to prove.
Like, I got to prove a point. Like,
look how cool I am.
I'm all for altruistic whistleblowers.
Yeah,
because I do believe that whistleblowing is an important
or even
thing
if
to
he
do.
Was making money, like if the Russians were paying him for the documents to leak him onto
this, I mean, hopefully it was a private. Hopefully, it was a private server at least.
There was nothing. Yeah. He just did it because he could.
I mean, the judgment isn't really inherent in Generation Z, more or less.
Yeah, I guess
judgment, critical thinking, any of that. Not really inherent to their generation.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't funny the information we found out, but yeah, it's funny that that's what happened. Because we've been told repeatedly that there are no U.S. troops on the ground. Well, now we know how. We know how many there are.
But we knew that there were.
Yeah, but now we know there's sanctioned troops on the ground, not just expatriates or whatever or retirees.
Yeah.
No, we know we have special forces in the field doing things. Oh, and then of course Russia got drone attacked supposedly by Ukraine.
Oh, did they?
Oh yeah, they went straight after Putin's office.
Good for them.
Supposedly, though it doesn't look like that may have been a drone that Ukraine has access to. So, well, it's whatever.
Doesn't have access to, or it's actually a U.S. drone that was sold to them.
Well, there's no good footage of it.
Right.
You see it, the footage that you see sort of a blurry little block flying in, and then boom, like right above the, I guess it's a Kremlin, I'm not sure. Yeah. And then they're like, yeah, Ukraine did that. It's like,
did you?
It's like, and then we're just like, we know what drones we gave Ukraine.
Right.
We'll see.
Well, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, we'll see. It's just whatever. It's so stupid. Yeah. It's a tire war.
There's lots of problems in the world. Go ahead, Shoky. Tell us about your week.
Miss Maisel is fantastic.
Is it?
It is. I love that fucking show.
I have no idea. I don't even know what the show's about.
It's about a comedian in the 50s. A female comedian in the 50s. And her rise to prominence in her fictionalized version of our world.
Based on true events.
Based on the life of the lady who wrote it to a degree, but it does have real people in it, like Lenny Bruce is a character, and it's a Jewish family in New York in the 50s, and you follow over. I think we last left off in like 1962, I believe.
Okay.
Could be wrong, because now we're doing time jumps and time skips because this is the final season. Dude, this last episode. Dude, it turned on the waterworks.
Oh, no.
Like they've done a couple episodes that are like the beginning of I forget which episode it was in season 4. Might have been season 3.
My God, how many seasons are there?
5.
Okay.
So the one of them one of the characters that had been around for a long time and was a friend of the crew and stuff like that, and passed away in real life, and then they had a funeral for him in the episode, and it was like a big deal because like I think I talked about it. Yeah, so it had been season 4 because I talked about it on this show. And Susie, who's the manager of Midge, the main character, it was her best friend / boss from the bar that all of them came together in the first place. And they held his funeral, and literally like 6 people are there, and one of them was basically just bored and like ended up there. And she is so mad, she hijacks the wedding next door, not wedding, funeral next door, because she thought that he deserved a better crowd. So she takes his big ass picture, takes it into the other funeral where there's like 90 people, sets it up there, interrupts that funeral, and gives this big, huge speech about Harry's life, because it was her roommate as well. Like, she lived with the guy for like 9 years and didn't know shit about his life. And so in getting ready for his funeral, all these people are coming out of the works. She never knew that he had been married. He had all these letters back and forth between him and his woman for years while he was at war. She never knew he was a vet. She had no idea that he spent time at an orphanage for sick kids because they never had kids. All this shit comes out of the woodwork, and she feels so pissed off at herself and everyone else for not knowing who he was. So that episode was like really touching and tear-jerking. This episode, because of the way season 5 has been built up, being with the time skips, like we're all the way in the 80s now. We jumped all the way. Actually, I think we're in 1991 now. So we jumped all the way to 1991 in this fictional universe, and like a whole bunch of shit has gone down, and we're seeing a lot of it in flashbacks, which are technically flash forwards from where we were. So we're in a flash forward watching a flashback that is a flash forward of where we left off in the real time. So they're just basically trying to barrel through the end of the series as though they should have had 2 more seasons. But it, like, between me and Jessica, we were both like ready to cry at a couple of the moments. So the show is still really, really fantastic. And then to kind of cheer ourselves up, we actually watch, you know who Alex Borstein is?
That name's familiar.
All right. So she plays Susie on the show, but she's an actress / comedian. Got her start basically on Mad TV back in the 90s. She was Mrs. Swan back then. And she's the voice of Lois Griffin on Family Guy.
Oh, yes. Okay, I was like, I'm picturing the text and the name, and I'm like, why? Okay, got it.
So she's really short, you know. She's like this short Jewish lady, and that's not an accurate description, but either way, look her up. So right after watching that really kind of sad and moving episode, we decided to put on her new comedy special, which is also on Amazon, which is a long one. It's like an hour and a half. And it's almost like a variety show in a way, because like she goes from doing just straight up, it starts out with a stripper, which is always fun. And then it's half musical comedy, half regular comedy, then a couple dance numbers in there. But I've never seen her do any kind of stand-up. I've just seen her act. And she's really funny. Now, she makes it very clear where her points on certain topics are, which is fine. But like the funny part is she's talking about abortions quite a lot in it, but like she'll start on the like, you know, like gavel banging and like just like getting on the soapbox, and then breaks off to do some other shit. But then, you know, just like, so basically build up attention and then break it down. Like, so it's like trying to get people into a fervor and then talk about something dumb, like to break it. So it's almost like I think she was trying to demonstrate in a way, like, how sometimes the feminist movements tend to get all in a fervor about something and then get very easily distracted, and then they'll come back to the point later. And it seems like she was actively doing that in the show. But it was funny, and she made it super uncomfortable by making sure her parents were there, and she was talking about the first time trying to have sex with another man since her divorce, and how that ended ridiculously awkward by him cock slapping her. Literally, like,
why?
I don't know, but that was kind of the point.
Why would you talk about it? Anyway,
because comedians talk about anything and everything. That was kind of what we went into last week about our comedy stuff. Nothing is sacred in comedy. And Jesus, did this show? It is definitely worth a watch. It is filthy. but it is funny. And the guy says she's got, like, she basically, like, after the divorce, she didn't know what to do because she'd been married for half her life at that point.
Right.
And so she moves to Spain to start life over with her kids and, like, midlife crisis almost. And, like, in trying to do shows and other things like that, runs into these two musicians, basically tries to become a comedy musician, and then basically just forms into this, you know, and then somewhere along the line, Miss Maisel happened. But of course, she's still making all the Family Guy money too. So, you know, she's not exactly short on cash.
No, probably not.
And one of her lines in the show is like, "I don't need to be doing this. I'm on a hit TV show." It's true. You literally don't have to do it. Yeah. And apparently, even that show was free, like, for the audience. Like, the audience didn't have to pay for it. And I was like,
really?
It's like, who the hell paid for this? I guess Amazon probably. But anyway,
like the show.
Yeah, so definitely suggest, you know, write more things for you to have to watch there, Rusty, since you're you finished up and caught one of the shows that we suggested to you.
Yes. Yes.
So Miss Maisel, it's hilarious. It is crude, but as you would expect. But it's really good. It's a pretty star-studded cast, like, over time. Like some pretty good, at least, like, top B level into A level people swing through to play other characters, whether they're new or actual people, you know. And, like, where it's at right now, it's funny because, like, it feels like it's a finale every episode. Like the first 3 episodes were, like, straight up in line as a solid story.
Yeah.
But this one skipped, or, like, the last few have been kind of jumping around between future and current. So it's like, okay. And then this last one was taking place in the future, telling stories of the past. So over a huge amount of time, which is funny because, you know, you don't get a whole lot of costume changes in a single episode of TV.
Yeah.
Susie changed costumes, not just outfits, but hair, makeup, 7 times for this because it was jumping around so much.
What, in like one episode?
In one episode, because it went through so many different time periods and so many different situations. Yeah. But, like, the writing is still top notch. It was weird how they randomly wrote out one character so fast, who had only really become important in the last season. So, like, basically just like, bye. And, like, at the beginning, you're like, oh, she'll come back. And now we're at the point, like, I don't think she's coming back. It's like, guys, I don't think she's coming back. But fantastic show. I'm also still watching Castle because that's what I do when I come home from work. Still love that, but now I'm heading towards the end of it. I think I'm at the end of season 6 right now. Season 7 and 8 is where things really start to deviate, and that's where the feuding was happening behind the scenes, and somewhere in there was the writer's strike and stuff like that. Speaking of writer's strike, that's also going to be affecting our futures.
Is it? Is that coming up again?
Yeah, we got a new writer's strike coming. It's going to be fun. It's going to be real fun. We're going to have Transformers Rise of the Fallen all over again. Revenge of the Fallen. Sorry, it's either Revenge or Rise. There's only 2 things that can happen anymore in a movie. Something is rising or something is revenging.
Someone is pissed off or someone is just showing up.
I mean, think about it though. Like, how many subtitles in the last few years of just sci-fi nerd movies has either Rise or Revenge in the title? I mean, actually, Star Wars alone: Rise of Skywalker, Revenge of the Sith. Rise of the First Order, Rise of the Beasts.
Hollywood has no new ideas.
They're literally out of all kinds of ideas. Although I do want to see the BlackBerry movie.
Yeah, I saw that pop up as a trailer on my. I mean, it looks interesting. I'm sure. There's a. Did you see this one for Tetris too?
Yes. So I don't have Apple TV. I don't have Apple TV, or I would.
Oh, is that where it is? Okay,
that's where it's at.
Apple TV, so I guess I'll add that to my list, and I'll let you guys know if it's any good or not.
Yeah, and share passwords while you're at it. Anyways, so I guess I could say
Netflix can fuck right off. Anyway,
nah, I still got Netflix. Actually, I have been watching because Netflix has so many comedy specials too. I've been watching a lot of comedy lately. For anybody, it's like I'm so tired.
They did the password sharing lockdown thing, right?
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Which I don't
in Canada.
Yeah, in Canada, I don't think it's hit you guys yet, which is weird. So anyway, whatever. Anyway.
Well, yeah, they can punish 30 million of you way easier. They can punish 400 million of us. They're like,
we have a
well,
voice too, damn it.
do you though?
I don't know.
No, your government just signed a thing that you can't even watch stuff from outside of your country anymore. We talked about that last week.
The Streaming Act. Oh my god,
dude, that is embarrassing.
I don't even understand it. Like
to keep outside influences. Like they don't want you seeing shit.
I know.
You don't need to see this freedom-loving stuff. You don't need to see how to speak back to us. You don't need to see how your voting rights are going away.
Yeah.
No, and you know, there's other countries that do that too. I mean, like North Korea, China. When you start limiting outside resources, eventually you're just going to not be able to log into any websites that aren't Canadian based.
Well, and that's, I mean, Canada's talked for years about, like, especially when it comes to our own broadcasting,
sure,
you know, networks and that, right? Is that like the last good Canadian TV show I think was Schitt's Creek, right? And then before that, there hasn't been anything for years.
Miss Maisel's a Canadian show.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I should be watching it then. Anyway, so that's like one of the things, but like, yeah, the primary thing on the Streaming Act is exactly like, and I'm sure part of it is some fallout from the convoy, right? Because there was
it all is. Come on, like it's
was
retaliation is what it is.
Sure, there was enough influence from American sources that you know misconstrued the whole message that was trying to be conveyed and whatever. So
did they though?
Anyway, I mean, I get it, but it seems weird. It feels dirty, like.
Well, yeah. Anytime the government restricts something you can do, it's definitely dirty. There's no good. Yeah. There's no benefit to it.
Well, I mean, they tell me I can only drive 100 kilometers an hour on the highway, which is 60 miles an hour for you.
62 miles per hour to be exact.
Is it 62?
It's
62.3 something,
give or take. It's irrelevant numbers. Yeah, 100 kilometers sounds fast.
It's not.
No, it's not.
I watched 200 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, that's how fast.
124, according to you.
Give or take.
Give or take.
No, actually, that is fast. Let's just be honest here. But I was so impressed. This one video I saw, and I think it was a Subaru. It was like a really souped up Subaru, and they said, "Yeah, it's going like 210 kilometers per hour." I'm like, that sounds insanely fast. And I looked it up. I was like, that's roughly the speed it can go.
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it can go that fast.
The needle is over here.
Yeah. It's like Subaru actually achieves top speed is what it should have said.
Exactly.
Not now, if it was the acceleration that mattered, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. But that's why I always find it funny when I was watching Top Gear. That's how I learned the conversion rate when it comes to that stuff, was watching Top Gear for a decade or more.
Right.
Because they're like, 0 to 100. And I'm like, kilometers? I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why would you measure that? We do 0 to 60 here. And then I went, it's the same, give or take.
Exactly.
Because we can never get any conversion to be an even number, with the exception of like Celsius and Fahrenheit. Occasionally there's crossover that makes sense.
Yeah, 32. That's the only place it crosses over.
Yeah. No, 0 is 0.
No.
Oh, wait, no. Was it negative? There's a negative number that's the same. Is it like negative 20? Something like that? It's a super negative number. But there's numbers where they're the same, finally.
Leave a note in the comments down below if you know the answer to this question.
Or if you're just going to Google it.
Yeah.
And by the way, we don't have any comments or emails. Please write in to the NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail at gmail.com. By all
Apparently,
means.
I don't know how the internet works.
Yeah. Apparently not. Canadian Google machine hasn't been doing its job in a while, so he's confused.
So I think Busty has been listening in because she sent me a message that is an article that says, "Will Duchess Camilla become queen now? Here's what we know." So.
She might have heard you bitching about it. That's funny though. She's listening in. What? She's standing at the door, just ear to the door. The door.
She's being creepy. She's creeping on us. I don't know what's happening.
That's fine. She's Busty. She can do that. She's definitely allowed. Let's be honest. What was it? What else was I thinking? Have I gotten anything recently? I got my drag strip, but I know I talked about that. The DX9 drag strip. So I've been preparing for this trip that's coming up. So I bought some new luggage to be able to haul some stuff.
Yeah.
And even though
right, yeah, you're going
vacation,
a little north.
yeah, yep. So I usually like Swiss Gear. I just think they make good stuff. Like almost all of our luggage and both my backpacks are. I think our main luggage is not Swiss Gear, but if I bought it, it's Swiss Gear. So I got a like big old duffel bag with wheels and whatnot, and I'm gonna convert it to. I'm gonna add some pinch and pull foam to it so that I can actually transport my recording equipment. Since we're driving on this trip, so I'm bringing all my recording equipment with me so that we can record a live.
While you're away,
we're gonna have a live podcast.
Dude, go be on vacation.
Well, part of the vacation is meeting up with people on this podcast. So might as well bring the recording equipment. I actually bought another mic as well for that reason. So
when is that happening, by the way? I will mark that off my calendar to make sure I'm available.
That'll be end of May, last week of May.
And
well, you won't be available on the recording end because we're only going to record in person for that.
You guys suck.
Well, we'll be in a hotel. I'm not going to trust their internet to be good enough to do this.
That would be trash. Yeah, for sure.
Plus, you'll be on a delay from the rest of us. We're just like,
yeah, probably.
You can see it later. But either way, I don't know what else have I been doing. Like other than this project I was telling you about at the beginning, which will be edited out for the most part, because that'll be for Patreon only. So you can hear the projects I'm working on. Of course, it's going to be storming. That's fun. Severe storms over the next couple days. I'm sure that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Do you just have it up and you're just clicking it when it's good to go?
Yeah.
There's no hotkeys for it. That's why I was.
Nope.
And by the way, they haven't integrated that into the Stream Deck yet. I was hoping they would have.
Yep.
They need to because it'd be fun.
Yep.
So yeah, other than that, I mean, went to a birthday party for a friend of mine on Saturday. Drank quite a lot, ate quite a lot. It's fun. You know, people I don't get to see very often. Got to hang out in the pool. Got to hang out in the pool.
Haven't gotten to do that yet.
No. It was warm enough during the day, but by the time I got in the pool, it was cold in there.
Yeah.
But it was fine. Met a couple other nerds. So I need more nerd to talk to somewhat locally. So that was fun. Before we had to leave, we were talking about anime and stuff like that. Ah, yes, anime. Thing I always forget to talk about. Been watching the current season of Demon Slayer. It's fantastic. The episode that just dropped yesterday was so damn good and if you've never seen it, it is one of the most visually beautiful animes.
Nice.
Like they spend too much money on this shit looking good. And don't get me wrong, like because there's so many different styles when it comes to anime, different artists and stuff like that. But like the way that they blend like CG and traditional art and like the lighting, the color choices, the bold lines, it's just gorgeous.
Nice.
And like and then action packed. That's always fun because they try to do a lot of, and Joe has bitched about it a lot on Nerd Rage about it because he can't stand the goofy moments. Like there's a lot there's a whole lot of super serious intense stuff. The fights are always intense and bloody.
Yeah.
But then there's the comedic aspect of every episode.
Right.
Because like most of the time you're dealing with guys who are like 14 years old. Like they've been thrust into this Demon Slayer position and like they're just fucking kids basically. So half the time they're doing like these super grown-up things like going around and killing demons, and then the other half they're just dumb kids who sometimes don't understand stuff because they grew up in different areas. Like Inosuke grew up on the side of a mountain. He doesn't know anything about modern society. Right. And this is supposed to be taking place in the which period in Japan? Not Edo. Basically it's like the 1800s. Whatever the 1800s period in Japan was. It's basically what it is. So they have like steam tech and while they have electricity, they have electricity and stuff like that, but they're still traditional, you know, they're using mostly candles and fires and whatnot. So it's just funny because like like the Mugen Train arc / movie, Inosuke didn't know what a train was. He thought it was just another monster to fight. Spoilers, he was actually correct, but you have to watch the movie to find out why. But he didn't know what a train was. He kept trying to fight it. He called it what did he call it? Big Metal God or something like that. I forgot what he called it. So he's just like not even a country bumpkin. He literally just doesn't know what anything is in modern society, and it's hilarious. I wonder
what Joe's opinion would be of Shazam then, if he doesn't like the whole like action movie with comedy in it.
I think there's a difference when a certain precedent gets set. Like, because Shazam, the movies have just been that. There's no like, so like the beginning of Demon Slayer is mostly serious, and it's not until they bring in the other two main characters, that things get more silly. Okay. Because the beginning of it is all like death and tragedy and suffering. Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was an intense one. I mean, you dabbed and everything.
Yep.
Did a rusty dab. But see, I'm okay. Jesus. So I'm okay with the comedy because sometimes you need the break from it. It is a little much, but then it also comes down to like you realize that the people who are seen, like the Hashira, they're the top demon slayers. They're like the top 12 most powerful demon slayers, and for the most part, you think that they're all super serious, like we've got a job to do and all this stuff because you've seen the one at the beginning that is like that. And then you get into a really intense situation where they all try to kill our main hero until they're stopped. And then now that we get to spend time with them on an individual basis through this series, you realize they're all morons in their own way. And it's like, so like the first one we ever met was Giyu, but he is super serious. He has got there's no inkling of kidding in him whatsoever. And then you get Rengoku, who is a big lovable doofus, but like he's the kind who literally would sacrifice everything to make sure a child doesn't get hurt. You know, so but he's kind of a doofus, but he also if the movie didn't show this, but when they serialized it, they added a small arc before the movie arc where he met with this family in this small town, and all they did was make bento boxes for people that are getting on the train. And that was that was the only way they could make money. And so because he helped them, he killed the demon that was trying to kill them. And then he bought every bento box they made to help support them.
Right.
So they didn't have to worry about making bento boxes for a while.
Okay.
And then he took them with him onto the train to start the movie.
Right.
And so at the beginning of the movie, you don't get that setup. He's just sitting in the carriage by himself, eating a bento box and going, "Oh my, like repeatedly over and over," which, you know, in Japanese it's delicious, more it's an exclamation. But every single bite he ate, he was doing this. This guy is he's so fucking weird.
Right.
But he's such a deep, genuine person once you explore his character throughout the movie, and then things happen. Yeah. And then we meet another Hashira in the next section, and he's a ninja for the most part, and he's got 3 wives, three hot ninja wives, and like, of course, but because he was raised by really shit, it seems like one of the big ways to become a Hashira is to have a shitty dad, because that's what happened to Rengoku, and then the same thing kind of happened in Usuri's family, because it wasn't so much shitty as like he didn't quite follow what the family wanted, and then most of them died, so he kind of left in regret. So he spends the rest of his life trying to live the most flashy life he can, you know, even as a ninja. So, but he's still also a weirdo in the same way, but like, once again, honorable, powerful, takes care of his wives. Like, he doesn't pick one over the other, you know, that kind of stuff like that. Even though they're all fucking weirdos. There's one that cries too much, one that's super tough, and then one that's like sort of in between. And like, he could easily just pick one and not bother, you know. And then he's also a man of his word. He said after, it's like, if he did this one battle, he was going to retire and go live his life with his wives and not have to worry about it anymore. And Like, even though he was being bullied, like right at the last second of the movie, he followed his word and said, I'm going to go take care of and live a retired life, you know? And at the same time, you got these dumbass kids who are along for the ride fighting these massive battles that are like destroying cities. And you wonder why they get goofy in their off time. I was like, yeah, because we nearly just died 17 times over. I broke my legs. I had a sickle stuck through my face. You know, it's like, yeah, maybe I'll be weird and silly in my off time.
for 2 seconds.
It's like,
exactly.
It's like when I'm not over here literally trying to save myself, 30 other people, and possibly the world, maybe I'll take time to be a dumbass teenager, you know? So I love the show. I think it's great. Cool. Worth a watch if you like any kind of battle anime. And an interesting story.
You guys keep mentioning it, and I do keep, like, it is on my list again of something I should go and check out, and I just have not had the time.
It's on Netflix.
I will go check it out.
Yep, it's on Netflix. I watch it on Crunchyroll because I finally have a Crunchyroll app on the PlayStation.
Crunchyroll.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's just where anime happens.
Yep.
So it is what it is. So that's basically almost pretty much everything I've been doing. Comedy, anime, castle, over and over.
Yeah.
And I'm still waiting on stuff to come in. I'm still waiting on my first order from SHOKY to come in.
What do you mean your first order?
I've put in my first order for from SHOKY.
Never ordered from SHOKY before?
No, I usually support American companies, but since very limited supplies of the thing I'm after, and they just happen to have one in at a decent price, so that should be here. Well, I don't know when.
I just figured at some point in your existence you would have.
Nope. I even Gundam,
thing.
Even like in my main Gundam days, I never ordered from overseas. I always ordered from here. Unless it was somebody who was in Japan who bought it for me. That's another story. But and then I got more hats. I'm feeding my weird addiction.
So you have a hat fetish now. That's excellent.
I kind of do. And the funny part is, like, once I realized that in certain styles I was ordering the wrong size, I went back and realized, because like even though I looked at the size chart, I didn't realize that certain ones between XL and XXL, there was the difference. So half the hats I ordered are XXL, and then I discovered the other half should be XL. So 2 of the new hats I got are just a little tight. It's like maybe an 1/8 of an inch too small. Maybe, but it fits my head still. But it's better than having one that's, 3 centimeters too big, So,
centimeters? What the hell's a centimeter?
That's what the other measurements are. So the problem is that because on their size charts, of course, they have centimeters and then they have inches. But then the problem is they have much larger gaps between the centimeters and the sizes. So it'll say like 60 to 61 centimeters. That's pretty vague. But then the next one will be 62 to 63. I'm like,
where did
61 to 62 go? So I'm roughly 7 5/8 is my hat size, give or take. But that's the size that'll fit me. But it wasn't until later that I realized that it was off. So a hat that I wanted from the beginning that I thought I couldn't buy, turns out I just wanted the wrong size. So I got that one. So I have 2 gray hats now, not just one. But then I ordered a limited edition one. It's more of a baseball style one of these. It's actually in honor of a particular baseball player. But it just looked nice. I was like, it's cool. And then I ordered a red one, just because I haven't had a red hat in a while. I used to red, bold red.
Bold red.
Yeah, it's left over from the Limp Bizkit days,
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is, I ordered one more to replace one that I've returned. So now I have a debit there. So now I need to find another hat to replace.
Credit? You have a credit?
That's what I meant to say. Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Credited. Yes. Sorry, I got it backwards. Well, because I had to ship the one back before they would refund me.
Right.
And so I purchased the new one before the credit happened.
Right.
So now I bought another one and I have a credit sitting there.
Okay.
So I incidentally spent money I didn't really mean to, but can't retroactively throw it in there. So I just got to wait for another one that'll come across that I want. There's one I keep looking at. There's a corduroy one that I keep looking at. I'm like, it's kind of
You've already spent the money, just buy it. If you have a
it's
credit,
just, but I don't want to buy something that I don't technically really know I want.
well, you could return it.
Why would I return it again?
I don't know. I don't understand this hat fetish you have.
Actually, I just thought about it. They sell little hat hangers. So maybe I'll just spend the money on those.
On the hat hangers?
Yeah, because like they screw to the wall. They screw to the wall, so they just just put it in. You sort of clips in. So it's just a bowed section, so you just sort of hook the back of the hat on it.
But you don't have any wall space. You're building this other Billy.
I can find wall space. Don't test me. Actually, what I have is a whole inside of a door right here that could be a perfect place for that.
Yes.
Assuming that they don't just go whoop when I close the door.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's the one other thing I did. I cleaned up in here a bit last weekend because I said screw it, this room is a mess. So for everything that I had gotten in and reviewed, boxes were just everywhere. Like Transformers boxes, friggin' NECA boxes, statue boxes everywhere. So I pulled out my review set and packed everything away. So my floor, with the exception of all the Gundam boxes that are like right here, and then a stupid ass Ken figure that needs to go away. Street Fighter Ken, not Barbie Ken. Like my floor is actually somewhat walkable. Like you used to not be able to walk between the side of my desk right over here. Right. Like, because everything was piled right there.
Yeah.
So like you had to very carefully walk around or step over. And then once all the the Iron Studios boxes piled up over there in front of the Billies, and then stuff started piling on top, I was like, okay, I have to it's what I call, I got to take pride in my shit, because like otherwise it just gets out of control and ugly, and it's already a mess in here to a degree, but I actually have to take the pride in my collection and in my room. Like my desk is horrendous. Yeah. Like this is, there's so much junk, figures and everything else like that. So I still need to do this part, and then I'll feel good. I feel like I also need to there's a couple things I need to do proper actual reviews of, because it's not something that I can just get away with my little 2-minute quick video. Oh, I did do a transformation video finally for the first time. I did Michael. I did my New Age Michael. I saw it. Did the Taro video for that. And it felt weird to talk on camera again. Since there's no voiceover or anything on the other one. Yeah. But also that there was a couple spots where I'm like, okay, I remember why I quit doing this. Because it was a pain. Yeah. But I did find it funny that in the video, I believe I mentioned the foot pads that I didn't realize, initially that those were there.
Oh yeah, I don't.
The ones that fell out of Bobby's copy.
What?
Have you not watched his review of the Michael?
No. Okay. I try not to watch other reviews
before you've done yours.
Yeah. Yeah. So
really? In his review, spoilers, there's 2 issues. When he's transforming it, 2 of the little foot pads actually fall out, and he didn't know what the hell they came from till way later. Yeah, somebody told him what it was. It was probably Robert D, honestly, because it's his. But the other thing is, okay, so you know how the legs transform into base mode? Yeah. One of them is misassembled, and it's not centered. But funny, when it's transformed into bot mode, it's fine. But when it's in base mode, it's off. Oh, it's like off center. It's off center, so you can't run the track. Shit. Yeah, I was like, damn. Huh. I mean, it might be a simple fix, but it's not his to worry about realistically. So, but yeah, no, that's funny. Mine's okay. Mine's fine. I still have it too. And
actually, the issue I have with mine actually is my elbow is loose. Like this doesn't normally stay up. It'll keeps falling down on me in the hinge there. So
is it the internal hinge or the external hinge?
Jesus, this thing has like 5 hinges in here.
Well, is it the one? Is it the one? Is it the big metal exposed hinge or the one at the proper elbow?
I think it's the metal one.
Okay, and I assume it's tabbed in correctly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because that's the only thing I could see is that it's not tabbed in right. Maybe some key keys, super glue, something. Yeah. I mean, it's not like he needs to hold anything heavy up,
No.
Yeah. So
not with the claw hand, right? The most important thing to see.
You don't need it for anything. And I think like with my hello, we have an extra.
Boom!
I like how you hit camera for like 1 second and then it went away.
Yep.
Well, I didn't want my camera on.
You turned it on. So one thing I did want to mention, I did forget to mention this last week, I think, But I'll have a link in the description down below. It is to a GoFundMe. It's actually for my ex-girlfriend who has a rare form of leukemia and needs some financial assistance to deal with medical bills. I talked to her the other day briefly, and she's hoping that she just started the second round of chemo and is hoping that it's more successful than the first one was, because apparently after the first round of chemo things were not looking up in any way. So yeah, so it's kind of it's a rough situation, and I've talked about her before on the podcast, and usually about how fucked up my life was in regards. But put the past aside, it's still a person that I don't want to suffer and have horrible things happen to. And now I certainly don't want her daughter to lose both her biological parents to cancer before she's like 22.
Jesus.
Yeah, which I just realized. So it was her birthday on the 1st, actually, the daughter. And I thought about it. I was like, holy shit, I think she's 21 now. I was like, damn. I was like, if we had stayed together, I would have a 21-year-old daughter at the moment, or stepdaughter. I was like, fuck, that'd be weird.
Crazy.
But yeah, either way. So yeah, I actually know too many people with a birthday in May. Because Facebook's just like, hey, look, but every other day it's like these 2 people were yesterday. When really? And then like today we got 3. Tomorrow we have another 2. Next Tuesday we have 5. Like what the fuck? So either way, but yeah. So if you guys can donate, the GoFundMe will be posted below. I did reach out actually to Bobby, see if he could promote it as well. I promoted it on the live stream on Friday. And on all the Shoky social medias. So, any little bit will help. Doesn't look like the goal is massive, but it's massive when you basically have 0 income and you're dying in the hospital. So, anything can help. So, if you can, by all means, spare a couple bucks, help out Laura and her family. So, either way. But yeah, might as well go with your week now, Rusty, since.
Oh, all right. On that happy note.
One last
Y'all
thing.
been on here an hour and a half, and you've only done weeks.
We had a really long conversation about immigration problems at the beginning.
He keeps remembering stuff that he did last week.
Well,
he started
the
with
last
2 things, and then he said, "I don't think there's been anything." Oh, wait, and then it's been.
Well, that's how it always goes.
Hour,
it is how we always do, where we remember something. But no, because I figured we weren't going to talk about it this time. I will mention that I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So
talking about it. I'm seeing it this weekend with the kids.
Okay, good. I haven't seen it yet.
So
either,
we'll talk about it next week. It's fine.
Okay. Good.
I will say no spoilers, just a number grade 9.
Yeah, I've heard it's the best of the 3.
9.
Yeah, I give it a 9. 8.5 on a bad day. I'll give it a 9 today.
I'm wondering how many people are giving it the best of the 3, just because they haven't seen the other 2 in a while, or did they watch them back to back to get ready for this?
I'm not saying out of the other 3 or the other 2. I'm just saying in general. I say it's better than anything that's come out since No Way Home. I'd say No Way Home was the best movie from Marvel since this.
Okay. So now that you've seen the whole trilogy, which is the best Guardians movie?
Oh, the first one.
So it goes 1, 3, 2?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
No, I would go 1, 3, 2, but that doesn't mean that 2 sucks. It just means that it's not as good. No, 2 was fine. I don't know why people keep ragging on 2. It's like I enjoyed 2.
I don't hate 2.
So like I saw people's like,
but I have daddy issues, so it was perfect for me.
Yeah, and it's like just in general. But I mean, like it built out the universe. It built out Quill's backstory. It built out all kinds of other stuff. And by the way, also including the holiday special. So holiday special will be 4.
Well,
will be 4th.
Like 17 on my Guardians.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying 14th out of purely Guardians things. However, you need to watch it to know what's happening in this movie, because well, yeah, because it sets shit up. Yeah, because this movie picks up shortly after that. So
God bless America.
But I mean, that's a good thing though, because like, if you didn't see that movie, you would not be set up special. You would not be set up for some of the things they talk about in this movie. Those events are referenced, so they are. It was a canon thing. Wasn't just some silly bullshit, which means GoBots are canon, truly canon in the Marvel universe. So either way,
well, they said that was canon anyways because they recorded that movie or that special at the same time they were doing the movie.
Oh no, I know. But like a lot of people,
all attached.
But you know, like back in the day, like if somebody did like a Christmas special, like I don't know, Star Wars, you know, that's
No
like extra canon nonsense. Yeah. So either way, no, that was great. We'll do a review of it once more of us have seen it. I think only me and Mike have seen it right now. I don't know about Dormammu, maybe, but either way, we can get together next week and we'll do a review on that because I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I've talked to 2 people who both said they thought it was the best of the 3. So interesting that you're marking the first one better than the third one. So
well, only because structurally, it was the only one that could stand on its own without anything ahead of it.
Extra, yeah.
Because this movie had to be restructured due to it being canceled, and then Thor coming out first. Remember, I said that Guardians was supposed to come out before Thor, and we'd see the fallout from it, and you see it in the movie because it makes no sense in the timeline, but it has to. So that's the only weird part about it. But I mean, it's not bad because of that, but you can tell that he had to restructure it because of those events, you know, and the fact that he had no control over what happened to the Guardians outside of his movies. So like Gamora being killed was not in his plan. So James Gunn has had to work around the fact that they killed Gamora in Infinity War. And then brought her back, sort of. So
it wasn't Guardians 2. No, Guardians 2 was pre-Infinity War.
Yeah, it was right. It was right before Infinity War. So, right before. But yeah, no. Either way, fantastic movie. Highly recommend. I almost want to go. I almost want to go back to the theater again to see it. And I'd never say that. I never say that shit. Mostly because
good to hear.
I want a better seat this time because my seat was broken.
Good to hear though, because I was worried about it because my kids really love the Guardians movies.
It does, and I think it's the first official Marvel F-bomb.
Oh, did they now?
Official Marvel, not like brought in later Marvel. But it's it's like one of the first PG-13 Marvel movies, so they could actually do it. And they didn't waste it. It was good. They used it in a good way. So either way. I can tell you ahead of time without saying anything what Ricky's going to hate about this movie. But I'm not going to tell you. And that's what I said. Right. But I know, like, I will write down my prediction and then we'll come back next week.
Hold it up on screen and be like, see?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, good luck with that because I might not hate anything about it.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Rusty. Sorry.
What the hell?
So I finished watching Andor finally, and yes, you guys are absolutely 100% correct. It is excellent. I will say I didn't find it overly interesting. It was an okay story, but it was certainly much better written and structured than Mandalorian. So there's that.
Yeah. But also you also binged it while we watched it week to week.
I don't see how that would have made a difference in my opinion. It was just like
It's
a story.
Yeah, but the thing is like because week to week you actually get a sense of suspense and wonder. When you're binging it and you're just rolling episode to episode, you're not really concerned about most of it, or it doesn't build.
I didn't watch. So I think I got to episode 3 and stopped, and I didn't then sit down and watch 4 to 10.
Okay.
I actually watched like 4, and then I came back the next day and watched 5. Came back the next day, watched 6.
Okay, so you were at least spacing it out.
Yeah, I was spacing it out, right? So, but I didn't get a sense really of other than the prison scenes, right? There was a bit of suspense / action there, but the rest of it I just thought was interesting storytelling. But
I think it's universal that the first 3 or 4 episodes are slow and boring, but those are all set up. Like that's all it was. It was just like, okay, well, we got to put our character in here somehow.
Bye, Ricky.
He'll be back. He's switching over to the computer, I think. Actually, what time is it? Kara might be home right now. So either way.
Bye, Ricky.
He'll be back. But I think it was just that the first few episodes was all set up and slow, but it was also kind of to represent how stuck he was in his life, and then how one single conversation changed his life so radically, and that's when we hit the roller coaster. After that. So, but I mean, like, as a spy show, it was pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah. Again, like the story was good. Like I found the story interesting enough, and it was well structured, right? It was right. It followed right all the way through, right? So that was good. But yeah, it was okay. It was an okay show. I would watch season 2 just for interest's sake. But
I hope we get it. I hope it happens.
They like there's already details coming out. They're saying it's like the week leading up to Rogue One.
Yeah, well, I mean, that would be a big gap if they did that because we still got years to go. There's still 4 years till Rogue One.
From where this story is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, so when it starts, it's 5 years. 5 years from what the events of Rogue One. Okay. So and then he goes away for like 6 months to the prison. So we lose at least 6 months out of that. So we got like 4.5 years until Rogue One. And originally the plan was, and I remember talking about this when we first the series was brought up. They were planning to do 5 seasons from the get-go. So we'd cover the events of a year until hitting up to Rogue One. And it's like, that sounds like a lot, but if they spaced it out, it would be pretty good and keep us within the time frame, and it would work. But then it looked like they trimmed it down to 3, and now I'm scared we'll only get 2, and I don't think 2 is enough. Like, because it's a pretty complex fucking story, basically building the background of the rebels, you know?
Yeah, so true.
I hope they go through with at least 3, because I think there's so much mileage there, and they don't need to just plow past it, you know?
As long as they don't screw it up like they did with The Mandalorian.
Look, leave these people in charge of it. Leave these people in charge of it. Because because the same people who did Rogue One, same people who did some of the better episodes of like Mandalorian and other series, or even like I think even some of the better episodes of like Rebels and stuff like that were done by these people. So it's like leave this creative team intact. Don't touch them. And keep giving them money. Like, keep the actors happy.
It's all about the money.
I mean, like, look at it this way. Diego Luna, as far as I know, didn't cover his face maybe but once in that entire show. In all of this last season of Mandalorian, you never saw what's his face. Not once.
Rikki.
Yes, Rikki has returned.
Yeah, because I just got home from work and my coworkers are immediately calling me
that's what happened.
And it bumped me out of this shit.
Oh, okay. I thought Kara came home, and I was like, damn.
No.
Another hour.
I would have said, I would have said nothing.
Yeah.
So
Andor.
We're watching Andor. So Andor, good. Story, good.
Number grade. Give us a number grade.
I'll give it a 7.
7? I think we gave it. I don't know if we gave it an actual number, but I would give it an 8.
Yeah. 8.5 easily.
Yeah. Okay. For the whole series, because if you go episode by episode, you're going to start out at like 4.
Episode, I think it's episode 6. Episode 6 is like a 15 on a 10 scale.
Which one was the one where it was actually the robbery and then like the whole like shit in the sky when they escaped the planet? That was like episode 5.
That was
5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Yeah. 6. I want to say 6 is the one that was in prison, where they went to jump and dude said,
that was 8.
It was like 8. It was like
that's my favorite episode.
Yeah, the prison episode.
I can't. No, just his I can't swim part.
Yeah,
that part right there.
Yeah,
that makes it a 15 out of 10.
Yeah,
I don't care.
By the way, what is that guy's name? The guy that was playing
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, man, that guy. Man, I love that guy.
That's Gollum.
He could act.
Gollum.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah. He can act his ass off, man. Like, no matter what he does, it's fantastic.
The guy he played in Marvel with the missing arm there.
Claw. Dude, look, people complain about Claw, but I loved his version of Claw.
I like Claw. I just didn't like the arm thing. It bothered me.
I mean, he's supposed to have a weird sonic arm weapon. It was much better than what it looked like in the comics.
Transforms.
I mean, it's better than having a big purple cone coming off his arm. Looking like half a transformer.
Yeah.
Instead, they made him a full transformer.
Well, at least an eighth transformer.
Yeah, he was a pretender.
He was kind of a pretender.
Yeah.
But he looked good in a 3-piece suit.
So watching another show called Shining Girls. I think I mentioned it to you guys before.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Yeah,
I hadn't gotten back with Elizabeth Moss, and that's an interesting watch. It's a good story too.
Dude, we still haven't finished Handmaid's Tale.
Oh man,
like we never went back to it.
Oh god, go back. It's so good.
Okay,
so good. Watching Formula One just because Formula One season is kicked off. So whenever I get a chance to watch race cars running around, although it's super boring this year because the Red Bull team's cars have been engineered to just blow everybody out of the water. So within oh yeah, like
what are they
within 10.
using?
Well, I mean, they all have their
Red Bull gives them wings.
Constraints. Yeah,
fair point.
Right, they've all got their design constraints, but whatever Red Bull has managed to pull off, they're just destroying the entire field. Within 10 laps, they're over 5 seconds ahead. The race is over.
Jesus,
right?
You're gonna have a wreck to catch up to that, dude.
Well, this is it. The only reason why there's even any chances is because like a yellow or red flag comes out and everybody bunches up, right?
Yeah.
And then if it's not near the end of the race, they just take off again. And anyway, it's a shame. The other team's got to figure their shit out because it's.
So why would they have such a significant advantage?
Don't know.
It's either
putting Red Bull in their car.
Usually, whenever something like that happens, there's a lot of investigations. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I know they can't. I know they can't do
enhancement steroids for their cars.
Yeah, no, you'd be surprised where they'll lie and they'll like do some extra displacement or some tweaking that they don't disclose. That shit happens.
No, there's definitely something, but unless another team places a complaint with evidence, right?
Yeah.
So nobody's been able to see or figure out what it is that they're doing. But
so could it just be the cars? Like they just did something?
I mean, they're drivers. Like, I mean, Max Verstappen is like he's an amazing, he's a machine, right? Sure, when it comes to driving. But I mean, a 13-second gap by the end of the race.
Yeah.
That's not just.
I mean, driver. that's some of the like world class drivers from the past could manage that, but like modern day where there's so many restrictions on things and like most of the cars are essentially, 1% to 2% different from each other. But like, because I remember McLaren was winning like for a long time. Mercedes would have their times. I mean, like it cycles. But
doesn't it all have to do with like mixtures, like the air and fuel mixtures and all that? They all tweak that fucking with it, trying to get the car.
Well, they can mess with aerodynamics. They can mess with aeroDynamics to a degree. Yeah, you can also mess with the gearing and stuff like that. But you have to be I'm assuming there's still speed limiters because they can't. Which makes
no sense in a fucking race.
Yeah, well,
I saw guys getting up to 320 kilometers an hour in the last race, and I was going. I thought the same thing. I thought there was like a limit, but
maybe it's per track. Certain
know.
Tracks are probably geo limited. Like as soon as they get them out on the track, computer knows, hey, you can only go this fast. Because
that's just crazy to have a restriction on racing, though. It doesn't make sense.
Well, because too many people died.
So fast, guys.
The problem was same reason
they signed up for that shit. They knew what they were doing.
Well, it's the same reason why most drag racing in the U.S. switched from quarter mile to 1,000 feet, so they couldn't go so fast. It sucks, but like. Because so many people were getting killed going way too fast in a quarter mile and running out of time to stop.
So to Ricky's point then, right then, don't restrict the speed of the cars, but change the racetrack if you have to make it safer for the speeds that they're getting to.
Well, that's why now with computer tech.
Drivers know it's that dangerous, and if they have a problem with fucking dying, don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they went, okay, guys, so bullets are bad, so we're just gonna give our military all rubber bullets because we don't want people to get shot. Get the fuck out of here.
No, it's more like realizing that bullets kill people and then taking away your 30 round clip and making it 15. Just saying.
All right. You guys went there last time. Anyway, but there's contracts with money attached, right? So if you as the driver are not giving 100%, then they'll find another driver.
Yeah, of course.
Right, so those guys will just drive, right?
So I do want to ask you though, because there was a racing themed movie trailer that just came out. Did you watch the Gran Turismo trailer?
I'm super interested. I didn't even know that had happened.
I didn't either.
It looks just like Driver or Fast and what was it, Need for Speed or whatever they just put out a few years ago. It looks like almost identically the same movie.
No, this is based on
this is based on a real story. Taking a kid who's awesome at Gran Turismo, teaching him how to actually race and letting him race in actual real races. That did not happen.
That's where the real story part ends, and then the rest of it looks just like Need for Speed.
Oh, absolutely! Yeah. It's totally going to be over dramatized, whatever. But I think the story events leading up to that, I think, would be interesting to know about. And the guy from Stranger Things is
David Harbour, and Orlando Bloom.
Oh, is he?
And the kid,
the main racer is Orlando Bloom.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
and then the main kid, the one that they bring from Gran Turismo, like he's familiar from something too. He was in a Marvel thing, wasn't he?
I literally don't know his name.
I don't know.
I don't know. I like how they switch between real footage and game footage, and you're like, so they're showing the same track with different. And they're like, wait a minute, hold on, and then it's
And then
like
they show the HUD across the top of it and stuff.
Yeah, so I was like, that's actually I think it's gonna be fun. Like,
for sure. Yeah,
it's gonna be.
That's definitely a streamer. I'm not paying to go see that at a theater.
No, I wouldn't go see it. I wouldn't go see it in the theater either.
I don't know. That might be a good IMAX one, depending on how they shot it. Because, dude, imagine you've heard how those cars sound when they're going. That might be awesome in a real theater, like a good theater, not like the bullshit one that I go to. That actually might be worth it.
Or the bullshit one that's in my basement.
Yeah.
What? Oh, and I've been watching the Formula One. What do you call it? Reality series right on Netflix there as well, right? Which basically was
yeah. I forgot about
all the
that.
background stuff in the last season.
Yeah,
and there's some interesting stuff in there from last season that I wasn't even aware of. Like contracts got cut, ended. McLaren tried to sign another driver, and then I think Aston Martin basically like sucked the contract right out from under McLaren.
Mm-hmm.
And stole their driver, and so I didn't even realize that it happened last year. So it's interesting to always go back and watch
much drama.
The drama that happens in the background that you don't even know about during the races. So that was cool.
Can we actually bring back like a vintage series where they bring out the old cars, like, and you're only allowed to race against cars of their own era?
Well, what do you call it? They have several series like that at the Watkins Glen. Racetrack every year, right? There's like the Mustangs versus Minis, right? And it's the classic Mustang.
Oh yeah. But like that's not the same. Like, if you could actually resurrect some old F1 cars from like say the '60s, like so you have like 10 of them go around against each other in a shorter track,
like the old Corvettes and shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I'm talking about F1 cars, not real cars. Because go back to the V12s, go back to the insanely powerful V12s that like were carbureted and had manual transmissions.
Meh.
Nah, that'd be fun.
What was the Formula One movie with Stallone where he was driving, where he was a speed racer guy? He was riding in Formula One cars. Was that Driver?
With Stallone?
Oh,
yes. I think it was called Driver.
Well, I think it was called Driver. It had him and had that one actor that everybody thought was going to be famous for a while, Kit, whatever his name is, the tall, skinny, blonde guy. They thought he was going to be famous for a hot minute, and then he disappeared again.
Oh, Driven.
Yeah,
Driven.
Driver. That's just Drive.
Driver's a different movie. I think that's the one with Ryan Gosling.
No, that's Drive.
No, that's Baby Driver.
Baby Driver is Drive.
Yeah. There's too many, but I was talking about Driven. That's the one I was talking about. I've never actually seen that movie. You've never seen that? That's actually pretty good.
No, but then there's there's a Senna movie. There's that other one.
You had Formula One racing in it.
That's true.
So Formula One racing is Marvel Cinematic Universe.
What was the one? Hold on, is Driven? Wait, which one had Thor in it?
Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth.
Was it a car movie?
Yeah, it was Chris Hemsworth. It was F1 movie. It was like he was a famous. It was like
Hemsworth racing movie.
Because it came out and he shaved and everything and he was smaller.
Rush.
Okay, yeah. So that was a different one too.
Never heard of it.
And then there's Ford versus Ferrari. If we're going there,
I want to see that. I've heard that was great.
It is good.
Yeah,
it is good. I liked it. And what was the one about the Ford? That was Ford versus Ferrari, right? Where
they're making the GT. Yeah,
right.
We're all on the same page that the best racing movie is Gone in 60 Seconds, right?
No, Talladega Nights. What are you talking about?
Talladega Nights. Chaser.
First of all, Gone in 60 Seconds is not a racing movie. It's just a car movie.
No, they're racing a clock the whole entire time.
Oh, fuck off. They're not racing anything.
Yes, they are. They have to have it done in X amount of time. That's a race.
Fast 2 is the best racing
Technically a racing movie.
Fast and Furious 10, only because Jason Momoa was in it.
Fast X does have more racing in it, so I guess so.
That's not really racing. They're just driving fast.
No,
cars.
they are going to have actual racing in it again. That's what they said about this one, is they're going back to some of the roots. So like the whole thing is like because they returned back to wherever that.
You've launched a car into outer space. You're too far away from your roots to ever get back.
It came back.
Yeah, it burned up on re-entry.
No, it didn't. It had to. and they were
I
in it,
know
weren't
it's
they?
not because what's his face was in it. And
Yeah.
He's still here, but should have burned up on re-entry.
Yeah, they got him back. They got Tej back.
What else did I? Oh, I saw a new show. I watched it yesterday called From. Actually, it's in its second season, so it's not really new, but it's something on
From.
Paramount
New to you.
Plus.
Mhm.
New to me.
Oh, it's on Paramount. That's why I'll never see it.
Yeah. So did you guys watch Lost?
Yes.
The guy that played Michael in Lost, the black guy.
Yep, there he is, right there.
Anyway, so the first episode, the premise of the show is that this town, if you end up in the town, you can't leave. And it starts off with this family accidentally rolls in because they end up having to take a detour, and they roll in their RV, and every time they leave the town, they just end up back on the same road, and they end up rolling back into town.
Oh.
Now, everybody in the town is aware that this is a problem, and the town is completely run down. Every car is broken, blah, 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 blah. And then you find out that at night, there's like demons and stuff that come out, and they try to basically eat the townsfolk. But as long as the townsfolk are indoors and they don't invite the demon in, they're fine. So the first episode starts with this family. They actually roll through town 3 times and they crash. And then the townsfolk are like, we got to get these people inside before, and it's turning to nightfall and everything else. So it's from the premise of this new family has now shown up in town, but the whole town is haunted and nobody can leave.
Interesting.
And I'm like, okay, I'm hooked.
Interesting.
So it's also from the creators of Lost. So
yeah, I see that. Yeah. So it's kind of like Star Fox 64. You think you're leaving, but realistically, you just pass through the screen to the other side.
Exactly. Yeah.
Weird.
So anyway, it's interesting.
That is interesting. I wish I could watch it.
And I still haven't finished watching Picard.
I was about to ask.
I haven't finished it.
Hurry the fuck up so we can talk about it.
I'm sorry. I will endeavor to watch it this week.
No. Endeavor's a different one.
That's a different ship.
Oh, is that a different? I'm sorry.
That's a different ship.
Speaking of this weekend, actually, we're going camping. I got the trailer unpacked. We're going to hook that sucker up, and we're going to go into the wilderness and.
So outside.
Yeah, we're going to go outside. You missed it earlier at the beginning. I was telling Shoky. So it was 0, aka 30 degrees last night here. So
I thought it was 32.
Plus, I am still wearing a sweatshirt. Yeah,
that's weird.
30-ish.
Because Christine was telling me that she got like literally like 6 days in a row in like 70-degree weather up there somewhere.
Yeah, we did.
I'm wearing shorts.
Yeah,
I'm wearing shorts, flip flops, and a t-shirt with the sleeves cut off.
Yeah.
I mean, we just got this cold front bringing in our severe weather, so that's the only reason the temperature went down. It was hot as shit this weekend.
You know what I haven't talked about in a while? I'm still addicted to Marvel Snap.
Oh yeah.
I put this game down, and it's frustrating.
Oh snap!
Yeah. Oh wait.
Do you got it?
So yeah, I'm still addicted to this game, and I cannot put it down. And I've got like a 50% win-loss rate, which is driving me bananas because you can actually rank up, but I can't get past this like the level that I'm at.
Throw money at it.
And yeah, I could.
It's a pay to play. It's a pay to play, and you know it.
It's a pay to play game. I absolutely, and I haven't thrown a dime at it yet, and I'm still doing okay.
That's why you'll never be anything.
No, it's because I suck,
dude. That's why I gave up on BeatStars, because it got to the point where you had to pay to do anything worth a damn in there. So I was done with that shit.
I went back to playing that for a short while. It made some upgrades to it.
They changed it. Last time I did it, that little that record that turns like a clicky clack thing. I played that and I was like, oh, okay. So they just want me to buy a bunch of shit.
Well, they also added they actually went back to older songs and added new difficulty to them. So you can actually take a harder or a different stab at older songs, which was fun.
Yeah, but then you have to pay to play more often, and fuck that shit. No, thank you.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, I had speaking of Star Trek, I played Star Trek's Fleet Command for a while. That is nothing but pay to play. That game was so like you start out with the most piddly fucking things, and you're stuck with it for like months. And then if you lose like a really good ship, it takes a while to fucking get it back. But also, if you do what I did, so basically, I got stuck in an area where we got invaded by significantly higher people, and they would just camp out on all the resources. So you couldn't take anything. You couldn't get
back up.
Yeah, so I tried to go to a new area and did what I could, but then I was too high a level to actually get anything. And then so I moved to a really far away area, and everyone there was so high level I literally couldn't do fucking anything. So I was just like, this game is fucking stupid. It's like the only way you could get anywhere is by throwing like $100 at it, buying like really high crew members or really high spaceships. And like all the advertising are, look, you can use the Enterprise, you could do all this. No, that was fucking stupid. It was the other Star Trek game where I forgot what it was called. I think it was Timelines or something like that. But like you would do battle with other ships like one-on-one. Like it wasn't like a RTS. That one was fun because you could, fight your way through, unlock different ships, stuff like that. That was a lot more fun.
Well, the thing, and the thing with this game too is I actually worked my way, again, didn't spend it down, but I finally, you can collect like tokens so you can actually go and buy the more powerful cards or whatever.
Sure,
and I actually finally got Galactus, which is one of the and Galactus's ability is it destroys everything else.
Yeah.
So, right, you lay him down, boom, everything dies. And then you have basically 1, maybe 2 turns to build up your area so that you can win. And everybody's talking about this card and the decks, and it's a winning strategy and everything else. And when I say that I'm really bad at this game, it's because I get a card like this and I still lose because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So anyway, that's just me.
It's Marvel. It's Marvel Yu-Gi-Oh! That's what it is.
So Busty is like texting me while we're talking, but she's like, "Are you the only one that talks on this podcast?"
Why? Because she can't hear us.
Because she can't hear you guys.
Yeah.
All I hear is you. She's like, blah 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 blah.
Forget that part where you didn't talk for like an hour.
Yeah, and I just started talking about Marvel.
So she literally is listening to you. That's funny.
Yeah, she just texted me. She's like, "That game is stupid."
We like Busty. Bring her on.
We do. I love Busty.
We're big fans.
I'm gonna do a
I don't
promotional.
even know her, but I like her.
She's nice. I like her. I'm gonna do a quick promotional thing. I got my buddy Eric at Madhouse. He's actually got a new line of T-shirts. He just sent me a sample of it. It's actually the Quintessons. He's got like 5 shirts, 1 of each head.
Yep.
And he sent it to me. He's got it up on Teespring. If you guys are on my channel, check out the description in my videos, and I'll start posting links for it. But really well done.
Yeah.
Like really nice designs done by Eric himself. So he sent me that. So that was cool.
Pake is slinging those too. So
yes, that's right. I forgot that Pake had mentioned that on his channel as well. So yeah, no, they're really really nice looking shirts. Go check them out if you're into the Quintessons. Go check them out.
You could also buy some NowYouMadeIt merch in the link down below if you want.
You could also do that if you wanted to, but I thought I would promote somebody else. So
promote us first, then promote someone else.
Which one is it?
There you go.
So we all saw the Transformers trailer. No, sorry, not the trailer. The exclusive clip.
The extended clip.
The extended clip.
I didn't.
It holds 30 rounds.
Oh god, it's garbage.
So it's the first meeting of the Maximals and the Autobots.
The trailers had me excited for the movie, and then this extended clip actually destroyed all.
As soon as they pulled Unicron out of the fucking back pocket, I was like, "Yeah, this movie's dog shit."
I was all right with it because it's excited. Like, okay, so because one of the
like
movies
Unicron was to try to get us excited, and the fact that they waited until the last trailer right before the movie come out and go, "Well, we can't get enough people."
You don't want to sell the farm, right? On the first few trailers.
They shouldn't have mentioned it at all, but they're trying to force us old schoolers to get in there.
Well, look, to be fair.
Why did it pop up with a Canadian flag in my corner?
Because you were talking over it.
No, it wasn't a Canadian flag.
It's letter K.
Does he hear it? He might. I don't know.
Yeah, I can hear it, but why is there a Canadian flag with it?
Because it's letter Kenny.
He's Canadian. Either way. But the point is,
but it was on you, and you're Texan, so
I was the one who played it. That's why. Either way, they blue balled us on Unicron in the War for Cybertron trilogy. That's why we're getting it in this movie.
Yes, right, and that's where I was going to go. Right, it said this movie is in the timeline is before that one, so they're explaining how did Unicron end up inside of Earth.
He didn't. Yeah, but it's not the same timeline.
It is the same timeline.
It is not the same timeline.
I'm not even having this conversation with you. It's the same timeline.
It is not the same timeline. It cannot be the same timeline.
Yes, it can, because they're fucking stupid at making movies, so it absolutely can be the same timeline.
Because Bumblebee's first time on Earth was not in the 80s.
And they said ignore it.
Oh, just ignore it. Yeah.
Yes.
Ignore the fact they're changing timelines.
Same character, same design.
That's the definition of a soft reboot.
Thank you.
It's a reboot.
Soft.
It's a soft reboot.
It's a hard reboot now.
Same characters, same designs, same
not the
original
same designs.
backstory.
We have
I'm
one
getting very
car,
right now just
one
talking about
car that was the same. Everything else is different.
Yeah, okay.
It's all different.
So interestingly enough, so I watched the exclusive clip and I went, this movie is going to be just as much trash as the other ones, with the exception of the fact that I thought that all of the Maximals were actually really well done. Again,
They look cool. Optimus
look
Primal
great.
looks cool.
Primal looks good. Cheetor looks good.
Cheetor's a little too big, man. That scale drives me crazy.
I agreed, but the design looks good, right?
Yeah.
Rhinoc, they showed Rhinoc, like more details of Rhinoc. Rhinoc looks fantastic.
Rhinoc.
Right? So from that perspective, I was like, okay, so this stuff looks good. The Autobots and their dialogue is absolute garbage still. And I'm wondering if they're using this movie to go, sorry, we fucked up the Autobots. We're going to fix it with the Maximals, because the Maximals seem to sound a lot cooler.
No, Maximals are all going to die in this.
Hopefully.
Really?
Well, if it's the same timeline, they have to.
Take Beast Wars.
And then we have to completely forget they ever existed.
Right.
That's not how that works.
Yes, it is.
Because all they had to do is go back into hiding. It's a 19-foot fucking cheetah.
So when they need help, in the future, they definitely will never call in the Maximals they know are hiding on Earth.
I mean, maybe not.
Or maybe whenever they do all the energon detecting technology, that didn't find them either.
Anyway, we'll find out with the movie. Let's just leave it at the movie. Anyway,
y'all need to
what I thought
that made the movie said sometime.
No, they didn't. They
what I thought
literally never have.
What I thought was interesting was that I showed the trailer to Busty.
Yeah.
And Busty said the same thing. She was like, the Autobots look and sound stupid, and the animal ones look really good.
So far.
I was like, yeah. So anyway, we'll see if they fuck this up, but they're going to fuck this up. So
actually, if you're following some of the toy leaks, like we're actually finally getting to see some of the Studio Series Maximals.
Yeah.
For the first time, like Studio Series Rhinox, the packaging and a couple other in-hand pictures leaked because, of course, Prime versus Prime steals everything. I'll call them out by name. I'm not afraid. Fuck them for getting all this shit from somebody at the factory.
Yeah.
And getting millions of views before anyone else can even get their hands on a fucking figure. Fuck Prime versus Prime. Shit should be illegal. And in some cases, it is technically illegal.
If you had a friend who worked in the factory and did the same thing for you, you wouldn't be saying, "Nah, buddy, I can't do that because it's illegal." You'd be fucking posting it and making videos of it.
No, I guarantee you, they would fucking prosecute me. I guarantee you, if I did it, I would be prosecuted. But for some reason, this person's doing it, and no one's getting prosecuted. And they've been doing it for years, and it's fucked up. Either way, but you can see that we've not seen Rhinox in robot form at all. Like, they've been hiding that for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I mean, surprises. Yay, that'd be great. I mean, I've already seen Air Razor in hand at Target. I've seen, like, the bullshit little figures and stuff like that really give you no detail. But, like, the fact that they are marketing this so fucking hard, like, how many different versions of Bumblebee exist just for this movie? Probably, like, 11.
You mean in the toys, or
just for this movie in toys? I think there's 11 different Bumblebees.
Well,
probably like 8 different Primes.
Bumblebees in the movie.
Yeah, but I mean, like, whether it's the regular mode, whether it's like the core class, whether it's the kid version, whether it's the Studio Series, like, but the fact that, like, they did the same thing for Prime. They've got the same thing for Primal. Every version looks a little different and significantly shittier. It's just like it's like they're offering you so many different quote unquote classes of the toy now. It's like, I kind of want to go back to there's 2.
Do you even Hasbro, bro?
No, I clearly don't.
Exactly how they do that shit.
Clearly, I don't.
They do that with every one of them,
and it's out of hand now. It is absolutely out of hand. That's why I don't buy Hasbro outside of the Studio Series fucking Dinobots. Like, I have not bought a new. Who was it? The last Hasbro figure I bought was the Sludge figure. And how long ago did he come out? And I'm only waiting on the rest of the Dinobots. I can give a shit less about any Hasbro figures. I want to get rid of all my Chugs. And nobody wants to buy them.
No, put them in the garbage, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a Transformers. So this Transformers animated movie. Yeah, that's
the one.
Coming out
The one movie.
No, not the one.
I know, but I said the one movie. Yeah.
Which, by the way, is set up as a prequel to explain all the Bayverse movies.
It's not going to be Bayverse though. It's going to be. It's not a prequel to Bayverse.
It is absolutely that.
No, it's not.
Doesn't look like it from the designs.
It literally isn't.
Okay.
Anyway,
it's another universe.
Chris Hemsworth is Optimus Prime. How do we feel about that?
I think it's
negative.
Stupid.
I'm on the fence.
I don't mind getting away from Peter Cullen because the dude's going to kick the bucket eventually. We need a new Optimus, but
that's what Reese Feature's for. That's what Reese Feature's for.
Chris Hemsworth? No, I'm good without that.
I don't know.
I don't think he's got a great voice.
I mean, it's going to be a young Optimus or an Orion, so I guess it is what it is.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. Whether they call him Orion or not, we'll see. But they've already said that's what it is.
He says he's Optimus, so
it's pre-war.
Yeah,
pre-war. This is like the stuff in IDW when fucking Megatron was still the mining equipment shit. It's like that level.
Yeah, or either IDW or even Prime went over that, and a couple of them did it.
It'll be interesting to see which storyline they go with, whether they go with the IDW one or they go with the one that's in the Covenant of Primus. And that's like that book just talks about he wasn't even a miner, he was just something anyway, but ended up in the arenas,
in the
right?
pits.
Chaos, right?
The same thing they did in IDW.
I guess it was close enough. Yeah, it was close enough. There was some variations, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. That he's in the lower class. He's in the lower sect or whatever, right? And Orion was in the upper sect.
He's pre-Decepticons.
Yeah.
It's pretty much Spartacus' story. He goes into gladiatorial combat and leads an uprising of all the other slaves.
Didn't we also see that in the War for Cybertron stuff? We got like a bunch of flashbacks to that.
There's also a book called Exodus. I think it was written by a guy, but it's same. Oh, you've read that book? Yeah. So same idea, right? They tell that story about
the one in the Bible.
Yeah, leading up to.
No, this one is Exodus was definitely Bayverse aligned, wasn't it? Wasn't that one of the in between books?
No, that was like one of the first novels, right? I think that was right after Hasbro had decided that they were going to come up with like this Bible of the aligned continuity.
The aligned continuity,
yeah. And I think that was the kickoff to that, because shortly after that guy wrote that book and they released it, they also released the Covenant of Primus, which aligned with that novel and the IDW comics and that too. So yeah. Anyway, I'll give that a shot. I mean, I think I'd be more interested in an animated movie that kicks off. Some
can't be the worst thing we're already getting.
Well, this is it, right? So, I mean, have we had anything decent since Transformers Prime? No. So
that's what I'm saying. These Bayverse movies have set a very low bar that people have to hurdle.
Oh, fuck yeah. But I wish they would stop elevating my hopes and then immediately dashing them even before the movie comes out, because now like this extended clip did nothing.
Well, I'm saying like they're not really elevating your hopes. You're doing it to yourself. You know what to expect in these fucking movies. This is the 6th or 7th movie. They've not gotten any better. They're all the same. In fact, they've gotten progressively worse.
Just send me a message every
Bumblebee
day after.
Bumblebee was okay.
Anyway, just send me a message every day, Ricky, after the movie.
Just remind you.
Yeah, don't go see this movie. Don't go.
I'm just gonna write Bayverse sucks and just send that.
Yeah, hashtag all day long. Anyway,
that's it.
What else am I doing?
I've been saying like the thing I want to see is the 15 minutes of Bumblebee, the beginning part, the best live action shit we've gotten.
Give us that.
I want to see the 86 movie redone that way.
Fuck yeah. Give me an hour and a half of the first 15 minutes of the Bumblebee movie. Like what? How difficult is that?
You leave all the humans out of. That's the the difference is no humans. Nobody cares about the humans.
Nobody. I don't care. I don't care. Like I don't. Anyway, whatever.
And they always try to say, "Well, the humans are to sell it to the kids." No, motherfucker. That's what your stupid Bumblebee is for.
Bumblebee is for. That's why there's fucking versions of Bumblebee in the stores.
Yep. Right? And that's why he doesn't talk. He does cool stuff like listen to music to help him talk and does break dancing and acts like a little puppy. It's to sell them to kids. So you don't need humans then. That's the sell point to kids.
Bumblebee is to Transformers what Grogu is to the Mandalorian.
I would that is an acceptable comparison.
Thank you. And motorsports is coming up. I've got my coilovers on. I'm getting them adjusted on the weekend. I'm getting new tires, and I'm going to the track, and I'm excited for that. And that's it. That's my week.
Nice.
Ricky, you go.
Is Shoky alive still?
I'm reading.
He's reading about the Bayverse stuff, so he goes, "See, I read an article saying
No,
you
I
guys
was
are
reading.
wrong."
No, I'm reading
It's
about.
not the same timeline.
It's not the same timeline.
It's really warm
It's
in here all of a sudden.
It's a soft reboot. They even said it was a soft reboot.
Yeah, reboot means it's not the same. What the fuck?
Soft reboot.
It can't
means
be
it's
the same universe
timeline.
if they start from a different point.
I'm gonna take off my clothes, but I will not show my ass.
Boo. That's why Irishmen are better than Canadians.
Jesus, whatever.
Shout
out to Ellen, by the way.
Shout out to Alan's ass.
No.
That is literally what a soft reboot is. It's the same storyline. They just pick and choose what you ignore out of what's already been shown. That's
or they completely redo the whole story from one starting point.
But they did it.
Yes, they literally have.
By the way, I haven't gotten any new figures this week. I'm waiting for my shipment. I'm waiting for my shipment from Shazoo. We'll get to your week in a minute. I haven't
You just said, Ricky, tell us about your week.
Yeah, but I changed my mind. I'm pulling it back. So my shipment
I'm giving you the boot.
Is coming. Oh, you got the. See, I want that.
Give me the boot.
You got the big stupid foot.
Is that the first one in the set?
Yep.
Okay. All right. I gotta jump in on that. It looks good.
Yep.
That foot looks stupid.
I did get batteries from Michael, so I can do my review now. So
the stupidest thing about this is there's
27A, not an A27.
There's no
same thing. Sorry, go ahead.
There's no ankle tilt up or down on it.
Yeah.
The only trick is there's a double hinge hidden in here that you can get a toe tilt out of. So you can
because that works out great. That's
well, I mean, I've stood it up and it works because of how they double hinged it. This becomes like a heel spur back here, so it does stand up like that.
Yeah. Just wait till it has the full weight on it.
It's got side to side. So
okay, so it doesn't.
For those who can't see it.
So
I don't fucking care about them. I'm not here for them.
So sorry, it doesn't have a full ankle rocker, you said, but it does go.
Yeah, it does. Look, ankle rock. Boop.
Sorry, toe tilt, but no,
there's no tilt at all. There's a
just a toe tilt.
Double hinge that you can pull the toe out and work with.
Gotcha.
But I'm not leaving mine in combined mode anyway, so that doesn't really bother me. But it is pretty damn cool. Like they went full tilt with it. Like they even gave you like if you want to put it in toy mode, they gave you the back cannons to put on there.
Yep.
And this is the one thing I watched a couple reviews and they all missed. It's collapsible and they all miss it. So you can push it in and get it out of the way and do shit with it. And then when it's all the way out, you can actually get that motherfucker almost straight up.
Push it in.
They all miss that.
That's what.
So when I have it in foot mode, I pull it out just enough to go to point it forward. So that it has a knee gun. And then this isn't new. I just want to talk about it because it's awesome. Gold Soundwave. Stay golden, pony boy.
Meh.
Bam.
Meh.
You're meh.
No, who's that? Is that New Age or
that's a New Age?
That's New Age.
That's the New Age one. Okay, yeah. Nice.
I got it out for something else I was doing for Bobby, and I just had it out here, so I was like, I'll show it off just because I like it.
Cool.
So I got that in. What else? I got stuff on the way coming in, like 2 more Silverhawks are coming in. Monstar and Steelheart, they're en route. Brooklyn, Broadway are en route.
I got what have I got? Oh, I got Hughes on the way from New Age.
Nice. I missed pre-ordering him too, so I'm gonna have to go back and find him eventually. I know he's out there. He's not hidden. He's easy to find, but I just haven't bothered yet.
Yeah, I'll get it when I get it.
Yeah, Power Glide's one of those ones I'm not gonna cry if I don't. He's one that I have to have to finish seasons. He's not one I have to be happy with my set.
Yeah.
So, what else? I got something else in this week. I'm trying to remember what it was. What was it? Fucking balls.
Wait, I remember.
I talked about my sludge, right? I did that last time, Planet X sludge.
Twice.
Okay.
Okay, so not a lot.
That might be it.
Oh.
Like everything's just like in flux, like en route, sitting around waiting for shit. Like,
yeah, it's weird. My recorder should be in soon.
Nice.
Recorder
from Madhouse, so check that guy in.
That recorder.
Oh, what about my DS? My DS, did I talk about that on here?
DS.
Okay.
Oh, the Blitzwing?
Nope. I didn't get that shit.
That's not deformation space.
Who is it then?
Wait,
Everybody
yes,
keeps
it
calling
is.
it DS.
It's Deformation Space, but they're calling themselves like Star Warriors or something.
Star Toys.
Which Deformation Space, which is Transform Element. So the tomato. But yeah, did I talk about the Recording Alliance?
No, I think you just showed it to us. I don't think because we didn't talk about what we got last week.
Yeah, Blaster. Yeah, you mentioned it. You mentioned in the chat, I think, that you had gotten it. So.
I got them for $20.
Oh yeah, you did. You did talk about it. That's right. You did.
From where?
He won a raffle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's right.
And
okay.
I've only ever played like 3 or 4 of them, and that's the only one I've ever won, and I got it for $20. So like,
nice.
Fuck yes.
Good job.
I think that's it, dude. I didn't really get much in. I watched a bunch of stuff. I watched the new Scream movie.
How is it? Is it any good?
It was good.
Scream 6.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I saw it on streaming, but I haven't seen any since like Scream 2. So I would have to watch them all.
Well, Paramount has them. Paramount has them all except for Scream 4 for some fucking reason.
Different studio, I think, on that one.
No, they rented it out to somebody. I think because I was talking to Dante about it. I think he said it's on Hulu right now, so Hulu has the rights to stream it right now. Which is
was 4 the one where Wes Craven stepped away? Like he just did the 3 and then he was I'm not doing any more of these?
No, Wes Craven did all of them up to the new ones, I think, because he had passed away.
He died after, yeah.
Okay.
4 was the one with the girl, the Save the Cheerleader, Save the World.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the cheerleader.
Yeah.
Kirby.
Never saw any of them.
Kirby.
Whatever.
3 is the worst one. 3 is it's great. I mean, it's watchable, but barely. The rest of them are really good. I did a podcast with Dante.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was since the last time we talked. We did.
I knew you've done it, but we hadn't talked about it.
What's the name of the podcast?
So you think you like horror? And we did he's doing like on his channel, he's doing he back and forth between talking about either a franchise or a specific movie, and then the next one will be about a decade in horror. And so him and I did the 60s.
Yeah. Because he talked about it. He talked about it on Nerd Rage 402.
Nerd Rage, yeah.
Or 401.
Yeah, 400 and 401, I think. 1 and 2.
One of them, yeah. They've all run together.
Yeah, we did the 1960s. We recorded that last week. It just dropped, I think, Friday. So I did that with him. I always have a blast with him. And then like we recorded for like an hour and a half and then talked for like 3 hours afterwards. Like it was crazy. Like my wife kept reminding me, like, aren't you supposed to be in bed? Like, don't you have to get up for work in the morning? I'm like, shut up, woman, I'll be there when I get there. Shut up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that just reminded of other things I got, but it's okay. It'll wait.
And let's see. Oh, I started playing Biohazard.
Bioshock.
I'm literally at Biohazard. I'm at the very beginning of it, and it's already scared the fuck out of me like 3 times.
I don't know.
Like jump scares. It was like one of the more recent ones, like before they started doing all the remasters.
Okay.
I don't know anything that's going on as of right now. It's kind of Texas Chainsaw Massacre-ish. Like I'm in this house where crazy people disappeared.
Oh, that game. Okay.
Family, and they're eating people or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm literally at the very beginning.
So you don't even know? Because you don't even know. No? Okay.
No. Speaking of video games, remember how like a long time ago we had a conversation about games and I was bringing up the game Manhunter? I know it's been a while since we talked about it, the shark game. And I talked about how they never...
I remember that one.
Yeah, and like I mentioned that they never did any kind of DLC or expansion. Turns out they did. Turns out they did do it. It was actually a sequel game or an add-on. And I got
get like the Megalodon in it and shit, right?
Well, you evolve different powers than you already had, but I think you can start over where you left off. You don't have to do it. And they did expand the world a bit more, and you're fighting
like a game plus.
Yeah, there's a new creature you're fighting, but I forgot what it is. I read a whole thing about it. I need to see if I can get it, either download or whatever, because I love that game. And seemingly like the new powers you get like just make it even more ridiculous than before. But considering we got that Meg 2 trailer yesterday.
Terrible.
I didn't even watch the trailer because the first one was fucking dumb. So I can't see a sequel being any better.
I like the first one. That's good enough. Hey, it's better than the Bayverse shit.
I mean, yes.
I mean,
but
also
that, again, a
it-
very low bar.
but it's also like the funny thing is because things have evolved so much in it. I'm like, man, this is like going the same fucking route as Pacific Rim, fucking Godzilla, Fast and Furious. It's like, is this all Universal? Like, it's just what they do. They take an okay premise and then just run it totally into the fucking ground.
We talked about this earlier. Hollywood has no new ideas. None.
Yeah, I do like what this one is like. Literally, the problem is 3 sharks because we had 2 the first time. Oh, and apparently a giant octopus.
Giant octopus.
But I like that they're ripping off.
Oh yes, okay.
They're ripping off Pacific Rim. They're like, oh no, more things are coming from the breach. I was like,
yeah, here we go. We're gonna have kaiju's and megalodon.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually the same universe, just earlier in the timeline.
Barf.
You and your universes. It's not the same timeline.
It's universal timeline. That's how like Fast and the Furious is happening on the other side of the planet too.
No,
we're gonna start seeing references. Hey, too bad we never got our Hasbro cinematic universe.
What the hell would that have looked like?
Oh, when they were talking about doing ROM and all them.
Yeah, they're going to do that. Like G.I. Joe, all these things, Mask, we're all going to be in the same.
What was it? United, something like that. And it was an acronym for something.
Yeah, it was just basically they're going to take all the old Hasbro TV shows and put them in a movie universe.
Well, they made it. They made a comic or two, like one shots.
Yeah,
with that shit all in there. And then supposedly it was going to be a live action coming too.
Yeah, well, it was supposed to
live action Mask coming supposedly.
Yeah, I've seen nothing about that.
I think I've heard that rumor for a decade now.
Yeah, maybe with Ramen Toys, really pumping out the Mask, maybe they'll.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Speaking of toy laces and stuff, so Mattel and Hasbro are doing a crossover of Masters of the Universe and Transformers now,
and a bunch of other shit. Like,
how do you feel about that, Ricky?
I couldn't care less. It's a company making money. It's not somebody will buy it.
Yeah, I mean, they're like doing the board games and other shit like that too. So I mean, it's like the crossover is going to go different directions. So who the hell cares?
It's not like the crossover like we had where we had the X-Men, the Blackbird that transformed. It's not that kind of crossover. It's fucking it's like Uno cards with people on it, and it's a Barbie fucking Monopoly. And
yeah, or Barbie.
Like stupid.
Barbie's going to be driving around in RC.
No, it's a Monopoly game.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Oh man.
Well, that
wouldn't surprise.
Those are both Mattel, aren't they?
No.
Hasbro owns Monopoly.
No idea.
I think Hasbro owns.
I thought
board game shits.
I thought Mattel owned most of those after Parker Brothers kind of went south.
I think that's the other way.
I lost track of all that shit.
It's kind of hard to know who owns what anymore. It's basically they're all just putting money back in their own pockets.
It's all one company doing it all. It's pretty much Disney runs all that shit. They own both of them.
It's a unit company.
Another, yeah.
So, yeah, congrats! You put a fucking battery in, and the wheels work.
You said it was the wrong battery.
You said it was the wrong battery.
Because I was fucking with you. Also, how much did that cost? That one battery.
Probably like $10.
I got 2 of them. It was like $5 on Amazon or something.
Yeah, I got 12 of them for $7.
Yes, I saw that, and I was like, I'm not buying 12 of these batteries.
Hey, you never know. Dude, I have found myself like through buying third-party Transformers, I have found myself needing random fucking size batteries, and I'm glad I bought them.
Yeah, you just touched on something that tripped me out about third-party Transformers and their batteries. How are there only like 5 companies making these Transformers, and every single time they put something out, it's a different size battery?
Different battery.
Yeah,
every fucking time.
Yeah, but
the same company can put out 3 figures, and all 3 of them will use a different size battery to do the same exact fucking thing. Their eyes turn on, but you need 3 different size batteries for it.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, I have a drawer full right here for that reason. Hey,
how many of these fucking screwdrivers do you have kicking around? Because
I've got 3.
I've got a couple because they break over use.
The tips break so easy. I have 2 of them just from New Age.
Mine, the tips don't break. What it is it separates from the handle.
Oh, yeah. I've had that happen.
The one just spins.
But I've got like small screwdriver sets from doing the Ecto-1 build, which, by the way, is another thing I forgot to talk about. So I'm starting to remember all this shit.
He just did his own show this week.
Well, like the thing is, like, well, because we didn't start out with our weeks, we started out with other stuff, so I've just forgotten, and I don't take notes like I used to. But like between the Ecto-1 build, I've got like 3 different small screwdrivers for the. Even that uses how many different size screws? I think I'm up to 22 different screws just for that one fucking car. So, and like most of them use the same screwdriver, but some of them are so small you can't. They're like the tiniest little Phillips head screws. Like I had to actually use a blade to use it because it's so small. But yeah, back on finally Fan Home opened up the orders for all of the big cars from Eagle Moss. So like everybody can start continuing their collection again. Mm. And apparently I only have like 5 more to go till it's done. So thank God. And my brain went, hey, I could start the DeLorean. And then I went, no, don't do it. Stupid. You don't even have room for the one big fucking car.
Finish Ecto first.
Yeah. But I was looking at it and I'm like, and that's another thing. It's like that thing takes 4 AA's to run, which is what, 6 volts roughly, right? They're all 1.5 each. Did you see the voltage on that battery you just put in that tiny tank? It's a 12 volt. It's a 12 volt.
12 volt?
That is a 12 volt battery.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is. You're in.
It's the same voltage as you.
Yeah. How is that? I don't know.
It's crazy. I'm like, that's what you put in your car. But like, you're not going to start your car with that thing. It definitely doesn't have the amperage, but like, it's insane.
Challenge accepted.
Hey, well, I'll say like, because I don't know if they have them anymore, but they used to have.
Like, this doesn't have the amperage.
No, that's what I'm saying. But like, it used to be you could put a battery saver thing in your lighter plug that was just a 9-volt battery on a thing, and basically like if it dropped down enough, it would just offset it a little bit while the car was sitting for. But it was like just using a 9-volt, just a straight regular 9-volt battery would help. So it's kind of funny that a tiny little motor like that. I was expecting to use like LR44s or LR41s.
Like some kind of like one of the smaller watch batteries. I was so anyway, whatever.
Yeah, so like this. Look, I've got a handful of LR41s left. I've got, what are these guys? I don't even know. AG4s. I know I used those I used a bunch of them, so whatever Transformers took those, there's a bunch of those fuckers. More here's LR44s. Those, I've only got a few of those left because all these third-party companies use something different. But what's funny, let's see, what are these? Okay, so here's some more LR44s, so I do have a lot more of those. But if you go into what was using these? Something I have uses these big 2032 big ass nickel batteries like this.
Yeah.
I forgot what it is. It uses those. That's how bad it is. I don't even know what the hell the batteries are for anymore.
Yeah, it's almost like you had to like put them in a Ziploc bag and label this is for this, right? Like, yeah.
Well, I don't. Oh, I know what one of them was for. Oh, look. Okay, what are these guys? AG8s. So that's another one that's definitely to light up a single head of a combiner. What else I got back here? I got all kinds of shit. Oh yeah, these CR927s. I don't even remember what those were for, but I've got a few of those left. Like, that's crazy. Like, just how many different types of small watch batteries do you need for your collections? Speaking of that, I forgot other things. The Ninja Turtles / Power Rangers crossover comics just came to a wrap up. The second one. So issue 5 came out. Ended in a weird spot, but they left it open for another sequel if they want, which is always good. So it's like, they're like, we're not doing this anymore. And they're like, we're totally doing this again. And it was fine. It was fun. Not a crazy story by any means, but it fits in the universe. Can't wait till they combine all that shit into a hardcover. And speaking of hardcovers and Transformers, I got my last 2 IDW hardcovers. So I finished up. I'm missing one.
Which one?
5 of phase 2.
Phase 2, 5?
Yeah.
But you have all 3 phases now?
No, I'm not going for the third phase because third phase is the garbage one. So I don't. Even though phase 2 contains Combiner Wars, it's still worth it because like after Combiner Wars, it gets better again. But once phase 3 hits, it's all garbage. So and incomplete for that matter. So. But all the stuff of like the DJD, the Lost Light, all that stuff is in phase 2. So I had to buy that, but like the one that has Ultra Magnus on the cover is the one I'm missing, and I'm pissed.
If I don't get phase 1, am I going to be lost?
No. I mean, you'll miss some things because it does pick up
but they'll reference it enough that you'll be able to keep it.
Yeah, I mean, phase 1, I think most of them are still on Amazon. I could be wrong.
1 and 2.
They were on
the thing.
BBTS for the longest time.
Yeah, but they haven't been for a long time at all. They sold out a while back. But I've been getting
Phase 1 and 2. Phase 1 book 1 and 2 are impossible to find, and I can find them on eBay for like $200 fucking dollars.
Yeah, that's why I started as soon as I heard that IDW was gone. I was like, I'm like, nope, buying these every other week.
I didn't put the two together at all. I should have. Yeah, I should have jumped on it.
Yeah.
And now it's I don't know. Maybe it's too late. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe I'll even pull the trigger on it just because I've always wanted to read the comics, and
they're good. They are good.
Yeah.
I read all the way through phase 1. I started phase 2, but I feel like I need to start phase 2 over because that's when the Earth forces start changing up. That's when they start getting like the advanced anti-transformer tech and stuff like that. Because in that one, they're not nobody's allies. Like they're kind of okay with the Autobots after a bunch of shit happens. But like Spike and his dad are basically like an anti-transformer task force. You know, it's crazy.
Spoilers.
Hey, but it's fine because where I'm at, that's as far as I've gotten. You know, but like they
all die.
They introduced the headmasters like really early on in a very different way.
Man.
Like it's a great story, but there's some brutal stuff in there too because they're not dealing with humans. Say what?
Sunstreaker's a headmaster.
Yeah, Sunstreaker's the first headmaster. By
He's a bad guy.
That's interesting because in the original comics, he was like the first Transformer that had his head removed by circuit breaker.
That's why they did it.
Yeah,
you know? Like a nod to that.
Yeah, so they
and then they kind of tie into the cartoon. Remember where it was like the alien was actually inside the heads, like the heads were like armor. They wore the training. They did that, but in this one, it's military people are inside the heads.
But they combine them like so they make them half Cybertronian, half human, and then they transform into the head, and then they have Sunstreaker clone bodies. So like they make an army of Sunstreakers, but then the head dude turns himself into Scorponok. So like that's actually kind of cool. And
they have the head from Sunstreaker, the removed one.
Yeah,
that's how they're doing. They're using it like a computer. They got plugged into it and shit.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I mean it's a pretty deep story, but like the Autobots are like hiding under a lake in like Indiana or something. Like that's where their arc 13 or whatever it is. They're like a fuckload of arcs. I mean, it's a good story.
I took the Nemesis story from the first G1 and made it the arc instead.
Yeah, since the Nemesis
under the water.
Yeah, since they were shot down, they're just hiding out.
It's the Nebulans you're thinking of, Rick.
Nebulans,
alien race that became the headmaster.
Yeah, the Nebulans. Yeah.
From Planet Master. Or in a different series, they're from a Planet Master. But I mean, like, it's good. But like once it got into like the more galactic stuff where they're out into space and they're trying to find other people and like you follow Ultra Magnus doing stuff. Like the stories like in what is it? Jetwing? No, what's his name? Thunderwing. Like Thunderwing is Thunderwing, like the big motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
He's like really fucking important. Like, and you follow because like you got everything that's happening on Earth, and then you have everything that's happening out in the universe, and you find out that there are connections to it, but there aren't at the same time.
Skywarp has a cool story in the
Skywarp has an or is it
and he has a pet dog.
Or is that Thundercracker?
No, it's Skywarp stayed right behind, wasn't it?
Which is the one that gets obsessed with TV? I thought that was Thundercracker.
Maybe. It's whichever one has the pet dog is the one I like.
Because all the Seekers get split up. They're not like a team in this one. So but for whatever reason, I think it's Thundercracker. He ends up like on his own.
No, it's not Starscream. It's one of the other two.
Yeah, because Starscream, he's somewhere. But it's been a few months since I read phase 1 and started into phase 2.
It's been a couple of years since I read them.
Yeah, but no, it's good. It's a good story, and I'm just pissed that I'm gonna have to find number 5. Because the other thing that on Amazon and other places, I need the first chunk of the Power Rangers hardcovers. So I've got the volume 2, but volume 1 with the Green Ranger helmet on it is like the hard to find, very expensive one.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple people who have it listed for like $350, or it's for the actual or a normal retail price, but the seller is sketchy. Like if you look at it, there's like a good 30% of like never showed up and that kind of stuff. And I've already dealt with that, so I'm like, unless it's coming from Amazon themselves, I'm not keen on it. But I would love to have that first issue because I've got all the rest of them at this point. And the Power Ranger story is going in an interesting direction as in a comics in its own right. It's weird what they're doing, but it's not bad. Because the story has evolved so much from like even if people wanted to say like, no, it's still going to be the same universe, just all this shit happened in the background. At this point, they can't say that. Like 8 months ago, you could probably say that, but now, no, not with the way the story has continued. They just like this is a wholly new universe from the original '90s show. So, what's Rusty looking at?
I don't know. There's some guy outside. Sorry, there's some guy outside.
Is he trying to steal your truck?
No, leaf blowing the neighbor's driveway of dust.
That's nice. That's nice of him.
Like, what's going on?
He might have mowed his yard and got dust on the thing, and so he's cleaning it off.
Oh, this is funny. As I talked about it, actually, there was a price drop on that Mighty Morphin.
Buy it. Buy it.
I don't know if it's worth buying and risking it though.
Buy it right now.
Why not? You'll get your money back with Amazon
eventually.
Yeah.
Let's see here, and it would be here. Ooh, that's not a good delivery date.
Is it a 30-day delivery window?
No, it's just where I may not be in town.
Yeah.
And there's of course only one left in stock. Of course.
Oh, yeah, there's always only
one left in stock. I don't need it right now. I'll just wait because I don't have that money to spend. I still have other shit to buy for this trip. So
bastards.
Don't look at us. You could go.
No. I meant the.
Don't look at us because I don't know what you're talking about. So
yeah,
the one stock thing.
Yeah. Of course, that's what it always looks like, and it's the same seller too that has been on there. So either way, well, we kind of talked about a lot of movie trailers and stuff already. Have you been watching anything though, Ricky? That's one thing you didn't talk about.
Ghost is still going. Watch that with the wife.
Ghosts.
Ghost.
I like that show.
that new show. Yeah, is it good?
It's not really new. It's at the end of season 2, so it's not really new. But yeah, it's pretty funny. It has some episodes that are hilarious and some episodes are like, eh. But yeah, it's pretty funny. Been watching The Neighborhood with the wife when we don't have any ghost episodes to watch. That's like Cedric the Entertainer and the one guy from New Girl, the one that was in love with the hot Indian chick.
Never watched it.
He's in it. It's a pretty funny show.
Yeah. He was the intern in the office that stayed there permanently or whatever.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
And then what else? I know I've watched some other stuff because what else did I watch? We were talking on one of the hangouts, unaired hangouts, just talking and bullshitting, and we're talking about stuff we'd like to see to get made, like stuff that we grew up on. And the one I brought up, I said I would love to see Exo Squad come back. Like we were talking about stuff that failed, like how come it failed and yada yada. And the best we could come, I brought up Exo Squad, and the best I brought it up on the show last week. And the best, somebody said it in the comments, is it was too grown up for kids, but too cartoony for adults. Yeah. Because it has it's all about racism and slavery, and like it's very deep for a kid's cartoon.
Yeah.
And it did not have a theme song at all. The whole opening is a over talk the whole time. They're just talking about the backstory.
Yeah.
So there's no theme song to it, but I used to love Exo Squad. I loved all the toys.
Same.
And Brink hit me up. He's like, "Hey, just so you know, dude, Peacock has all the episodes on it." So I've been going back and watching Exo Squad again. I'm about halfway through season 2, which is the last season. So
yeah, there was a point where it got a little. It definitely switched gears, and it wasn't quite as good. But I know, but it was like, because it was on syndication, is like, okay, am I watching this in order? Am I watching this out of order? Because sometimes it was like the Sunday morning on the Paramount channel, whatever that affiliate would be, and you might be watching an episode from last year. You don't know.
UPN 44. Yeah. But yes, I've been rewatching that. So shout out to Brink for telling me about its existence so I could watch it again.
That is cool.
I did.
The toys were cool, but then they went into that weird.
I loved them.
Remember the next round of toys where they were transforming too, like they would turn into something else.
I don't remember that being Exo Squad at all.
Oh, you don't remember that? So remember JT's?
I just had the main. I had the main exosuits.
Yeah. I had JT, the guy with the glasses.
I do remember. Hold on, did his thing turn into like a
motorcycle?
roller or something?
It turned into like a motorcycle.
I kind of remember that.
And they switched up the colors on a bunch of stuff, and it got really weird. And I forgot what
that was a voice.
And then they did a crossover with Mech Warrior, but Robotech. So they did, or either way, no, maybe it was more. Either way, they started to do a crossover with them with the toys, because I started noticing. Yeah, it has to be Robotech, because I started noticing. Wait a minute, I've seen this before.
That it looked like the Akira bike when he transformed it.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of remember that vaguely.
Yeah, it was crappy, much crappier. It was like mostly the same suit, but then it would for some reason change into a thing. But I remember like the end of the first season where like I guess they all had to like sacrifice their cores or whatever to blow something up. And
that was halfway through season 2.
That was halfway through season 2. I thought that was in season. You see, this is how screwed up the releases were. I didn't know which one.
No, I take it back. You're right. When they were trying to blow up the volcano.
Yeah. And then I think they came back the next season, and like the ships had been upgraded and everybody's suits have been changed a little bit. And the main bad guy, forgot his name. Phaeton was like melty. And he's failing cloning himself. Yeah. And then I think at that point Marsalis had like switched sides or something.
That was at that volcano thing, and it was fake.
Okay, couldn't remember.
Spoiler alert for a 40-year-old cartoon.
40-year-old cartoon. But yeah, no, it was definitely far more adult than
but it's still good to go back and watch. Like it's still enjoyable.
that would be one that could definitely use an upgrade. Like same shit, give us an upgrade. And it's kind of like what I've said with Beast Wars. It's like redo Beast Wars with modern animation, but leave everything else alone. Leave the voice acting, leave the story. Don't change fucking
voice
anything.
Acting you can't, because some of those people are dead.
But so what I'm saying, don't re-record it. Don't make a new thing. Keep the same thing. Just give us updated visuals. And they could do the same thing. I feel like they should do that for a lot of these older cartoons. I mean, like, yeah, just literally give us updated visuals. But
dude, they could start a whole new battle of Transformer fans, because what if they went through and they fixed all the fucking animation errors that people are?
Then it'll start eliminating half the cast.
Is Rumble red or Frenzy blue? Like they could fix that so that it was right from the beginning, so it matched the toy. And then they're like, hold on, well, you're just saying that because you're a modern Transformer fan. I'm a G1 fan, so it's blue.
Just call it generation. Just call it Generation 3, or we'll just make it Regeneration 1.
Regeneration 1,
like the comics
1.
did. Like the comics did. There's
Generation 1 2.0.
Just fix it. Just fix it a little. But like I think like
where they had like 16 star screams in a single shot, or they miscolored somebody so that it looked like they were with Devastator.
Or like, Optimus Prime was all blue for no reason.
Oh, fuck, man.
Good times.
Every time I see that scene, if I can.
Every time you see that scene where he's like pinned to the wall with Energon straps and he's all blue for no reason.
Yeah, and like
it's like, wow, somebody forgot to paint things the right way. Did we just forget that's like the main character?
How the Autobot logos changed all the time depending on
sometimes they're the wrong color.
Sharp. Yep.
Yeah, like you'd see Autobot logos purple. A couple
times there was an Autobot on a Decepticon.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
We were accidentally seeing into the Shattered Glass universe.
Good times. I think that's where the idea for Shattered Glass came from, really.
Probably.
Mandela effect.
Yeah. Like that episode.
But,
remember that episode we did?
No, it never happened.
Never happened.
Damn, y'all are supposed to fucking play along. Supposed
no,
to
I knew where you're going with it. That's why I said it's just a Mandela effect.
Supposed to fucking play along.
Let me go get my tinfoil hat.
I'm supposed to pay taxes and die. That's pretty much the only thing I'm supposed to do.
Well, let's work on the second part.
And taxes are optional if I don't mind jail.
Not really. I mean, all you got to do is
y'all heard it is recorded. Shoki just wished death on me. He's gonna feel bad if it happens.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you just did.
No,
I said pay taxes and die. And you said let's.
Every reviewer on the planet has this Magic Square brawl. Everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, no shit. Of course, everybody got it.
It's the new hot shit. It just came out.
It just dropped.
I just got it Friday. Yeah, I just got it Friday.
I guess I should have bought it.
Yep. Can't be famous now, Rusty. Sorry.
Can't be famous now.
Don't. For being a YouTube toy reviewer, you're really behind on the figures come out. Hey, have you reviewed MP? It's the new hot shit.
Your audio keeps cutting out.
What have I reviewed?
MP10. It's the new hot shit. You should check it out.
It is now. We're going back to MP10.
I haven't done parkour yet, so
yeah. What are you sleeping on that one for?
I'm afraid of transforming.
The same reason why it took 65 years to get that fucking Jazz review out. It's like,
no,
God,
he doesn't have to.
The fucking leg.
He doesn't have to repair this one.
He had that Jazz pretty fast compared to everybody else, and he still took forever to get the review out.
So something I actually never talked about because it was when we were on our incidental hiatus. So I got that Planet X Victory Leo. Oh, that was pointy.
No, I didn't know you got that.
Yeah, I got it weeks ago. But I did. It comes with the screw hole fillers.
Sure.
Yeah. So, of course, the instructions tell you nothing, so you just got to figure out where they fucking go. And some of them
shape, same as Planet X.
Exactly.
X.
Yeah. So the thing is some of them flat out don't fit the hole they're going for, whether that's being too small or too big. And the ones, so the ones that were too small, I added a dab of super glue to get it to stay.
That means you have ones that are too big for the holes that those ones.
No. These are all super specific because there were 8 of them that were the same size, and those are the only holes they could go in. The rest of them, they really do match up. There's no fucking yeah. But the thing is, one of the largest ones is a gold painted one. It's supposed to fill in one of the knees, right? And the hole itself is also on a diagonal. So trying to get the fucking thing in there, it ends up pressing the plastic out around it. And the first one I put in was jammed in fucking sideways. So it's sitting up and proud out of the fucking thing. And you can't get it back out without really actually can't even disassemble anything.
Not that bad for me, but the HasLab Unicron had fucking screw hole covers.
Oh,
some
I'm sure.
Of them were to go in there because they were angled.
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
But see, the ones for this Unicron were perfect. They all fucking fit. You could tell exactly where they were going to go. But
I never even put that one on. I still have them on the screws in my case in there.
It helps, especially around the hips and stuff. But yeah, this
but mine's in planet mode.
Yeah, so was mine. Still did it. But that Victory Leo, man, it looks really nice. But you can tell that was a half-assed effort just to make up for the fact they had a Star Saber and they wanted it to combine. It didn't have to, but they went that way because it's in their IDW line.
Is their Victory Leo the one that attaches MP Star Saber, or is it their IDW?
No, it goes
Star
to their
Saber?
one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that was.
I'm gonna let you know a little secret. That whole design is fucking stupid. The Victory Leo only ever becomes booties in a backpack for them, so it's fucking dumb from Jump Street.
Yeah.
And the only way to make it happen is to make a stupid toy.
Yeah. But then you actually have to modify Star Saber to fit him, so it comes with the parts for that. So you can either have it combined or not. Either way, they'll probably look good together, except for the fact that Victory Leo has metallic paint on him and Star Saber does not. So
I don't have metallic paint, but my shoes look fancy sometimes, so it works.
No, just no. But he's making a joke that Victory Leo just makes shoes. But since this one is backpack shoulders, but this one,
not a joke,
but this one, it does put the head on his chest if you want it. It puts other shit on the shoulders, puts it on the feet, makes a backpack, all that shit. So it's not just some fancy shoes.
But it's still all just accessories.
And the new hat.
You're Mr. Plain Jane, but you can have fancy hats, fancy backpacks, fancy shoes, fancy everything wrapped around you.
No, I can't.
Shiny and new like the rest of it.
No, I can't. You haven't seen my wardrobe.
He's just Star Saber is just a white trash dude dressed up in Louis Vuitton when he puts his Leo on.
Sure, that makes sense.
Super fancy.
But now it leads me to believe I need to get the Deathsaurus to go with it just to finish that set. But I don't know.
Here, look, just to show you, it does work in the walking position.
Yeah, with only that weight on it.
Dude, the rest of the weight's going to be here with a knee bend.
Yeah, but you still have a very large bot with extra arms and shit to go on top of that. Hopefully it'll hold. Hopefully it'll hold.
Such a naysaying shit. He's just a new age elitist. Don't fucking worry about him.
Being
because I'll let you know a secret.
The other leg,
yeah, maybe. I know. Don't explain nothing to him.
Maybe.
Let him think it won't work.
I don't know why they're releasing them all at once. Why didn't they just release the whole set?
I'll be sitting here with my Bruticus while he still doesn't have one.
And I'll be okay with that. Oh no, one less thing to spend money on.
I never did get the New Age Devastator, by the way. I'm sad about that.
I had the New Age and the
there.
Magic Square. The Magic Square is better. The New Age looks weird. It's too thin. It's better build, but the Magic Square looks nicer.
Interesting.
Don't mix and match, Rusty. Just get the good one. But now, actually, but the thing is, now there are other versions of it, so now you can really pick and choose.
And let me tell you, the New Age ones are ridiculous, dude. They want like $300 for a fucking dirty fucking version of them. I'm like, my ass, dude. I have full size MP combiners that cost me that much. No, thank you.
Yep, they're proud of their money, or they're proud of their shit. But either way,
it's not great. It's too skinny and it has really long thighs. It looks weird proportionately.
I'm okay with it because
that's why mixing and matching is better.
That's why he stands up there inside the space bridge, so you don't have to see his legs.
He has to hide the ugliness. Whereas if he just wasn't an elitist snob, he could have the Magic Square one, have it out loud and proud and looking good.
I hate the colors on the Magic Square. It's fucking ugly.
Because it matches your Toy World one sitting right there.
No, it doesn't. That one matches the Toy World one.
Close. You got the silver legs on it?
Yeah.
You left silver legs on it?
Yeah, I didn't have an option. The perfect version comes with the silver legs.
Not the Toy World, your New Age.
Oh, yeah. How do you switch those out? They don't have different legs.
Doesn't that one have the slide? Maybe it's Magic Square it does. Oh, okay.
Still wrong color.
One of them has the slide outs. You can swap that shit.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't want silver legs. If I want silver legs, I'll just paint them.
Yeah, silver legs are gross.
I'll just send it to Sean to have it painted.
You know there's an upgrade kit to fix that Toy World.
I don't care. I like it like it is. I don't have to fix anything.
You just sat here and said you don't like the silver legs, but it has silver legs. I'm looking.
Oh, on the New Age. I like the yellow legs on that.
No,
one.
I'm talking about your Toy World one right there.
Yeah, that one's got silver legs, and I'm fine with it.
But you just said you don't like silver legs.
On the New Age.
You're a fucking asshole. Eat dicks. Eat all the dicks.
I can differentiate.
Oh yeah, the legs are silver on Constructor. Look at that.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sitting here on my phone and I can see that.
He was looking at his own.
He had to zoom in on it.
Oh, I was looking on the wrong side. I was looking at Scorponok on the left there, thinking it was Constructor. It's okay. Got it.
No, it's the other green one.
Yeah, it's the one with the Dinobots by it.
Actually, I got Dinobots on both sides.
Well, I can't see the other ones because
I got Dinobots here, I got Dinobots there, I got Dinobots up there. They're just kind of all over the place. There's a whole bunch of them behind me. With the Ark. Like, who's going to buy the Nemesis? Who wants to go buy that overpriced Nemesis?
That thing costs more than a HasLab. That's crazy.
Yeah, just wait for the fucking sale. They'll all go on sale. Just wait for it to hit Ollie's.
Plus it's ugly trash, dude. That Transformer is
I don't care about the bot mode in any way, shape, or form. I only want the ship.
There's no way to justify spending anywhere over $60 for just a ship.
Yeah, somebody should get it, completely recast the outside as a shell, and just make the fucking ship.
Just KO it. Or you can just go online. I guarantee you somebody has a 3D print that you could just print up and have it yourself already.
Yeah, why would I want that though?
Yeah, I never liked the idea of their ships transforming anyway. Like,
it was okay for the Ark because at least there was precedent for it, but the Nemesis, no. It's like
there's precedent for the Ark transforming where?
From the War for Cybertron. And animated.
Animated.
Both of them did it.
That's post G1 for me. So
everything is post G1, asshole.
G1 elitist over here.
That's right.
And if you want to be technical, the Ark only is in the very first episode, and that's it. Everything from that is just the thrusters.
Yep.
But that's the Ark. Teletran's in there. You're inside the Ark. The Ark.
Until Trypticon destroys it.
Spoilers.
Spoilers for 35-year-old.
Like a 40-year-old cartoon.
Yeah. All right. Either way, let's go ahead and wrap it up because we're at 3 hours already.
Yay, 3 hours.
3 fucking hours. And now I still got a Billy to move. Hey, the storm rolled out for now.
Why are you moving children around?
No, the Billy that I was working on, you jackass. Fucking.
Okay.
Fucking.
Billy.
Oh, Billy.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be fun to both do that and then film it and edit all that. I'm getting tired of editing. I need an editor. I don't mind filming.
I need a writer.
Oh, I can do that. Here, we'll trade. You edit my videos, I'll write yours. Since you read scripts and shit.
I do read scripts.
You scripted asshole.
Makes it interesting.
Does it?
Less rambling.
Mm.
Less of me going, because when I don't have a script, I go,
It sounds so fake.
You're fake.
This is true. I'm not real.
Actually, I'm fake, according to Ricky.
This is also true because you're definitely not real.
Technically, he is too, because I've never met him, but you're just doubly fake because you claim to be from Canada.
You're from an imaginary country in the first place.
An imaginary country above an imaginary line.
At least he's an imaginary person, says he's from a real country, so.
Yeah,
Actually,
Texas.
realistically, I guess all countries are imaginary since they're all just imaginary lines drawn on a map.
I've never been to any of them, so they technically they are. They exist.
Well, we have a less than imaginary fence that people pretend isn't there.
Didn't you build a wall?
Tried to.
I've seen pictures of a wall.
There's some wall.
Some wall.
Still, we missed,
portions of a wall.
we got like 300 miles of it. So either way. All right, guys.
Yeah.
So do that like and subscribe thing, please. I don't know why, but our last video is like way down on views. I don't know what happened there. It's really. Maybe I should check the description, make sure there's no words that YouTube finds offensive or something, because they won't tell you. They just will downrank your shit and nobody will see it. So compared to like the last 3 episodes before it, it's like no views comparatively. So it's weird. It's really weird. So
maybe the algorithm changed again.
Again, they would do that just to fuck me over. So either way, of course, you can follow me at all the Shoky things down below, including be a Patreon member. You can be cool, like Laura and Mary, who can see the video version of this podcast and the unedited version for the most part. Except for the
Laura and
Mary.
What did you say?
Mary.
Mary.
Yeah.
Sorry, you had to
AKA
look at us.
AKA Larry.
Sorry, he charges you to make us look at us.
To make them look at you. Yeah. Actually, technically, I charge them so that they can come and do hangouts, but they happen to support this as well. So they already look at me. But they get to see you.
I'm doubly sorry that you have to look at me.
But they get to see
It's
you.
me and Rusty offset that bullshit sometimes.
Yeah, you do bring it down. So either way, of course, you can follow Ricky. Damn it, the screen has moved. You can follow Ricky at all the things he does for Nerd Rage Radio. And then, of course, Realm Hatton Project on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel on Friday nights. And then there's the Rusty one down there.
You know, it shows on our screen that you did that, so you can say no hands.
He doesn't care. Stop it.
But then you went, no hands, it wasn't me.
And just like that, Rusty lost his links. It's weird. I don't know what happened.
It's a Canadian goose.
Damn it. The quack?
That is a mallard duck.
That is a
It's a
mallard.
Canadian goose.
It's a mallard.
Mallard.
It's a mallard.
Mallard.
Yes. So follow Rusty's stuff down below as well. Yep. He needs to make his own merch. Where's your merch?
I actually am probably going to be setting up some merch along with Madhouse on a Teespring site soon. That's what I'm working on with Eric. Paik is already, posting it or promoting it or whatever. But I think that's what Eric and I are going to do. We're going to set up a Teespring site and throw some shit up there.
I need to get some Rusty merch.
Rusty merch.
Just Rusty merch. And eventually I'll finish that Canadian Google machine concept. It's still on my phone. I just haven't finished it. So either way, guys, we will see you on the next episode. And with that,
okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Did we get it in?
I don't
Okay,
know.
bye.
I was like, Ricky just disappeared. It's like,
it's
because Karis.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.